Hello again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
It is that time, your favorite time of the week. We're not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews and your fantasy league. We got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. Rock, Lindsay, Sutton, and Judy. We are the Mile High Broncos country.
Orange Weekly. Fans, brews, and Broncos news.
Hello, Broncos country, and welcome to another live episode of Orange Weekly, as we are going to be with you here during the entire Broncos versus Falcons game. Now, of course, we cannot show the game, but if you want to match up your audio, Jason and I are here to call the game with you for you all day long and chat with you during the game. So post your comments, post your questions. If there's any feedback, let me know. We'll try and fix that. But lots of awesome people in here already. Hit that share button for us. And, of course, like I said, post your comments and questions. So we do have some news in terms of inactives as we're about 15 minutes away from kickoff. So, Jason, as we know, for us, the big ones are A.J. Bowie and Bryce Callahan. So, ouch.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Obviously, Bouye, we've had multiple injuries to him this season, but losing Bryce Callahan the day of the game too is it's a tough break for the Broncos. And this team's been plagued by injuries all year, and just seems to be yet another example of that next man up mentality that we kind of have to embrace, because at this point, top two corners are out for the day.
It hurts. That's going to be interesting to see what we do for sure. Nicholas, is this a Tristan Holiday? No, this is a KevDan jersey that is custom. And yeah, so it's the same number, but obviously it's better because it says KevDan on the back. Post your comments, post your questions. Go ahead and start posting your score predictions, everyone. Of course, if the Broncos win, anybody who enters a score prediction will be entered into a prize for later on in the season for some awesome Broncos swag. And of course, if you guess the score correctly with the Broncos winning, then you will automatically win a prize. So post those comments, post those score predictions, and yeah, we are here at Colorado Pork and Keg in Castle Rock, Colorado. So come on down. They are open on Sundays for Broncos games only. So yeah, fantastic stuff. Good food, good brews, and with our motto being Dan Brews and Broncos News, kind of just makes sense that we're here, right?
I guess it's fitting.
So looking at the depth chart here for those cornerback positions, looks like Michael Ojemudia and Devontae Harris are going to be the starters today, with Duke Dodson and Essenge Bassi, if I'm saying his first name correctly, as the backup. So we are thin there. It is going to be, I would imagine that they're going to test those cornerbacks early and often.
Yeah, especially Ojemudia. He's the rookie, so they're always going to pick on him. I would expect early matchups. They're going to try to get Julio Jones on him early and often. It's going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be a tough day for him. It would have been a big assignment for either of our two original starting safe cornerbacks. But with them out, now we're trying to rely on our depth in the cornerback position, and again, probably Ojemudia to try to shut down one of the game's best right now in Julio Jones. the Falcons offense has started to get things rolling the past couple weeks. Matt Ryan's doing well. Obviously, Julio Jones. Their running back, Gurley, can't even stay out of the end zone when he tries. A couple of weeks ago, entered that end zone a little too early. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough game for the Broncos defense here. It's gonna be interesting, I think, to see if our offense are able to keep up with the Falcons offense today.
And Calvin Ridley is out for the Falcons there, so that's going to make things interesting in terms of what they're going to do. I think they're going to rely heavily on that run game while also just taking advantage of our injuries in the background there. I think David said it best, one of our other Orange Weekly guys, in that if there's ever a game in which we need our offense to carry the team, I think that's this week, man.
Yeah, and I think Jared's counterpoint is our offense is currently rated 31st in the NFL. Again, it's going to be a game where they have to overperform. Hopefully, they can carry the momentum of last game into this week. Coming back and putting up 3 touchdowns in a quarter. Hopefully, they can take that energy, take that confidence, and bring it to today's game. Because I think the only way the Broncos have a shot today is if our offense is able to keep pace with the strong offense right now that the Falcons currently have had the past few weeks.
Yeah, and, ever since they fired their head coach Quinn.
Yep, Dan Quinn, they've actually kind of turned it around a little bit on the Falcons side there. So, I think at the beginning of the season we'd have sat here and said, yeah, this is probably going to be an easy game for us, easier game. I don't think so. And one thing to keep in mind is the Broncos had a virtual practice this last Friday, and because of Shelby Harris being on the COVID list, he's not on the inactive list today. So I'm hoping he's going to be out there and active. But looking back to last week, the Broncos also had a virtual practice on the Friday before the Chargers game. And they didn't have to travel either. So I'm not sure if that played too much into their performance in the first half, especially, but it's. Yeah, I don't think that's that much of a factor, to be honest. At this point in the season, they know their playbook pretty well. Those meetings at that point, that far in the week, sure, you'd like those extra repetitions, but at that point, you're more so just going over the game plan and making sure everything is understood. Again, those extra reps are good, but we've seen teams. If you look at the Titans, when they were basically shut down for 2 full weeks, in their first game, they came out flying and had 0 issues and came out winning their game when they were out for 2 weeks. At the end of the day, these are professional football players. They know what it takes to prepare. And so I don't think that necessarily having that virtual practice on a Friday really screws anything up. Again, sure, you'd want those extra reps, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's anything to kind of hang an excuse on to say that this is why to expect them to come out slow. The Broncos this week, they can't afford to come out slow. If they come out like they did last week, I don't see them coming back against this Falcons team. This isn't the Chargers. They don't have those weaknesses that the Chargers have. They have a way more experienced quarterback, more experiencst team overall. And, if we have that slow pace, I expect us to go down 28, head into half. And that's going to be insurmountable against this Falcons team.
No, 100%. Robert, how you doing? Jesse, Barb, Nicholas, Braden. Glad you're all here with us today. Hit that share button. Again, Jason and I are going to be here during the entire Broncos game, calling it for you. Go ahead and try and match up our audio with what you're seeing on your TV, so you don't have to listen to those terrible announcers. I don't even know who it is today. I don't care. They can't even say Okawebanam correctly. So they keep trying and keep failing. So we are here to try and bring you some fun and, just like I said, interact with all you guys. So we are coming up on a little less than 8 minutes away from kickoff. I think it's time to start. First off, everyone else, keep posting your score predictions to be entered into a prize drawing later on. And again, if you guess the score correctly with the Broncos winning, you will automatically win some awesome Broncos swag. So glad you're all here. Stay with us during the entire game. Jared is going to be here at halftime to give you the halftime hash. It's going to be a fun time. So we got some good score predictions, some close score predictions from Braden, Barb, Jesse, and it looks like Jeremy. Jeremy has the biggest spread, have Broncos winning 26-10. But Jason, start breaking down. What do you think?
Yeah, I think heading in today, I was a lot more optimistic until we found out the news about our cornerback situation, and I think that's a huge blow, honestly, with this game. It's going to be tough to overcome that, and so I still think it's going to be a close game. I'm not sure if this is a game that we can find a way to win or not. I'm hoping I'm wrong. It's going to be the first time this season I think I go against the Broncos here. I know, but I just, with how decimated we are with injuries, the Falcons have a lot of confidence right now. I mean, they're one stupid play away from winning 3 of their last 3 since they fired their head coach. I just don't know if our offense can keep up with the Falcons' offense today at the Falcons Stadium, where Matt Ryan does really well. So I think we're going to come up just short. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a good game. But I think it's going to be, I'll say Falcons 35 and Broncos 30.
Ouch. That hurts, man. Barb, not sure what happened to your top fan status. We don't have control over that, unfortunately. Hopefully you get it back here soon. Derek with a high scoring score prediction there. The Broncos getting 35-20, so that's an interesting one. I enjoy the enthusiasm, but I'm going to counter that a little bit with the Broncos having some momentum as well. Coming off that last game, coming back from that 17+ point differential there, 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They are in a position too to go 500 today, 4-4. So I think they are really looking for that road win. It is a early time slot on the East Coast time, so they have some things going against them historically anyway, but I think they realize how big of a game this is going into halfway through the season. 4-4 would be huge for them right now, seeing how they started the season. So I'm going to go and guess another close score predictions, but this one for the Broncos, 24-20. And I could see us coming back from somewhat of a point spread there. I think Falcons are going to get on the board early, but we're really going to rely on Drew Lock to just be smart. And I think what we learned last week is you can't control him. We can't tell him you need to go do this. Once they told him just, hey, Drew, go be you. Be smart about it, but go make stuff happen. He did. You could tell instantaneously he loosened up. He got some dance moves on the sideline, way better than I have, right? But I think you're going to carry that swag into this game, and you have to, because that's really the only thing you have going for it. Philip Lindsay is going to be in there today. We do have Shelby Harris, but again, that cornerback situation will be huge for us.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's going to be a crucial for the Broncos to establish an early run game here, and utilizing, again, my personal preference is Philip Lindsay at this point, but expect to see a good mix of obviously him and Gordon. But if we can establish that run game early, it'll open up that play action that Drew Lock loves to use so much, right? If we establish that run game, get the Falcons to have to respect that run, buy into the run. That opens up the playbook for Drew Lock, get him on some play action, open up the pass game at that point. But I think it all starts with that run game. It's gonna be Lindsay again, hopefully getting the majority of the carries here, and hopefully Melvin Gordon not making any boneheaded mistakes like he has had a pattern of doing so far this year.
Yep.
I think it's going to be crucial for that first series or two for the Broncos to get that run game going.
And some interesting Ragers here. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, our newest podcast, Ragers. Ray is 19-8-3, I believe, on the season, and his sports bet. He's been doing it for years. He loves it. He knows what he's talking about. If you check out Ragers on any of our podcast platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, etc., he's going to tell you what bets he's taken, not just what he's taking, but why, and what bets he's staying away from. So being 19-8-3 on the season is fantastic. He is looking at a couple here. Lindsay over 36.5 rush yards, and I just lost it. Look at Jerry Jeudy with over 47.5 receiving yards. To me, that seems obvious. Like, why would you have a betting line of Lindsay at 30 plus or minus 36.5 rushing yards? And I get it. We're probably going to be, utilizing Drew Lock more, but I fully expect Philip Lindsay to have 80 plus yards.
Yeah, that's pretty typical of I guess there's a lot of factors that go into it. One, he is slightly banged up. He is playing through an injury right now. Like you said, I think there's going to be a lot of reliance on Drew Lock. Plus, there's the factor that for whatever reason, they've underutilized Philip Lindsay so far this year. I mean, last game they gave him 6 carries,
That's true.
which again is beyond me. And so it's not often you'll see a running back getting 6 carries, averaging 14 yards per carry to give him the numbers that he had last game.
Yeah.
If we only give Lindsay the ball 6 times this game, then yeah, I think that's a tough. I see where they're coming from and putting that as the betting line. Because that's about where you get with 6 carries for a strong running back. 6 carries, that's about where you end up. So we'll see. Hopefully the offensive coordinator and our coaching staff gives them the ball a lot more than they have been. Because clearly the past 2 weeks, again, 14 yards per carry. And then the Chiefs, before he took that dirty hit and was knocked out of the game, was averaging 9 yards per carry. For the past couple of weeks, since he's returned from his injury, he's been phenomenal. I mean, he's been finding holes. He's been running the ball incredibly well. So we need to utilize that. He's a confident player right now. He's playing with a lot of energy. He's the heartbeat of this offense right now, if you ask me. So hopefully we use him more than we have been, and we'll go from there, I guess.
Broncos are in their blue jerseys today, and I say that Philip Lindsay is incredibly reliable. And you know who else is reliable?
Who?
Colorado State or Centennial State Insurance Agency. They are incredibly reliable for any of your insurance needs. Want to thank them for sponsoring us, whether it's auto insurance, homeowners insurance, properties insurance, whatever you need. Give them a call at 303-838-0554, or you can find them on Facebook as well, Centennial State Insurance Agency. They will be straight up and honest with you no matter what the situation is. If they're not the right person to go with in your situation, they will tell you, and try getting that from any other the big name corporation, insurance corporations out there, right? So give them a call. They're fantastic. You will have a dedicated insurance agent so that if something were to ever happen, they would be the ones to help you out. They know your family. They know you. They know your situation. So they are fantastic people. Again, Centennial State Insurance Agency, 303-838-0554. Okay, looks like we're coming up on game time here soon. Again, Jason unfortunately has picked the Falcons to win, so he is not eligible to be entered into that prize drawing. But I think we both have somewhat close score predictions. So again, guys, we're going to be here during the entire game. Go ahead and post any comments you have throughout the game. We're here to chat with you, not at you. And we're just happy you're all here. Try to match your audio up with the TV, and you don't have to listen to those really crappy TV announcers. And I think they all are. But, here we are, Mercedes-Benz Stadium there in Atlanta, Georgia. Broncos on the road at that early time slot. I think that's something that really has me concerned, in addition to that cornerback situation. Again, Shelby Harris is looking to be active today. But also we have lost Bryce Callahan, and AJ Bowie is still not back. So those are some huge losses for us today. Gregory, how you doing? Derek, I don't know if I gave you a shout out here a little bit ago, but glad you're here. And Jeremy as well. Again, we're going to be here the entire game. So we had talked about a little bit. Looks like Thursday and Friday they had virtual practices due to the Shelby Harris COVID situation, making sure everybody else is good to go. While the Fridays are more typically just simple walkthroughs, it's going to be something they have to, address early. Get firing all cylinders, because you can't fall behind 14 points against this team, especially later on in the game. Jose, how you doing? Glad you're here. The interim head coach, Raheem Morris for Atlanta. Again, they've been doing pretty well since they got rid of Dan Quinn, so that's definitely something to keep note of as we go through.
Yeah, and I want to add real quickly, according to the Twitterverse, the Broncos are without Shelby Harris today.
Well, that sucks.
So do not expect Shelby Harris, which is a huge blow to our run game, our run defense, and obviously his ability to bat down balls. A huge part of that defensive line. So they'll have to fill that hole again, and that's going to be another tough blow for this defense to have. So we'll see how we do with Matt Ryan this season. He's leading the NFL with 308 passing yards per game, 12 passing touchdowns on top of that. So it's going to be a tough game for the Broncos. So we'll see how they go here.
Hey, Matt Ryan is out first, throwing off to the right. Looks like an easy first down, about 11 yards there, throwing the number 81, and I don't have the Atlanta Falcons names in front of me. But yeah, so again, this is something you're going to look for, is them just taking those first couple plays, really just trying to move the ball and test our offense and our cornerbacks especially, and I think that's where you saw that throw right there. But we're going to have to find a way to stop them, that's just kind of what it comes down to. But again, we got Matt Ryan under center with number 21 in the backfield there.
Yep, that's Todd Gurley, their main running back. Expect to see a big game from him too, and they'll give it to him here.
Stopped
Good
by
play.
number 24. Oh, no, not Ojemudia. Can't remember who number 24 is, but that was a huge stop on first down, bringing up 2nd and 10. And if they can stop that run game early, then they're going to have to rely on the pass game. I think that's where you can kind of figure out a little bit more what they're going to do and help your cornerbacks out. So especially with Shelby Harris out, you got to be careful. But again, 2nd and 10, Matt Ryan in shotgun, empty set there, motion out to the right. Number 21, the running back, looks like he's calling a play change at the line. Looking to throw, again, to the right-hand side, about 5 yards there. Keep testing Bassey over there on the left-hand side.
That's Julio Jones with his first grab of the game here. Makes it 3rd and manageable here, so we'll see. It's a big 3rd down play early here in the game here. Falcons offense off the field pretty quickly here. That would be a big victory here early in the game, so we'll see with this 3rd down play how it goes for the Broncos here.
3rd and 5, we got Matt Ryan in shotgun with running back off to the left there. Looking to possibly bring some pressure, at least fake it. Bring several. Matt Ryan looking to throw, and he has his man right at the first down marker in the center of the field there. So it's going to be close, but I think it's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, it'll probably be a first down. That was a heck of a grab. Got to give it to him. That was just – it was a good throw. They picked up the rush there. And, that just a one-handed snag out of the air. Pretty well defended. I don't know how you can defend that much better than that. That was just a phenomenal grab there.
Well, that offensive line definitely held up, unfortunately. But, again, we got 2 backs in the backfield there. Matt Ryan handing it off to number 21, getting maybe 4 yards on the right-hand side there. So, trying to keep them to not much gain on the passing or on the rush game, but – it's going to come down to those cornerbacks, and you can see already in this drive that they are just testing them nonstop.
Yeah, definitely the start that the Falcons have wanted so far in this drive. 4 yards rush on a first down isn't bad play at all. You see some numbers there. Todd Gurley last week, 18 rush, 46 yards with a touchdown. Solid running back that they have there, so we'll have to shut him down as he will get the ball again, and an easy first down and plenty more. Again, we can't have that. That's – once you get this guy going, it's hard to stop him. And again, like you said, if they establish that run game, that opens up all kinds of options for them. It's going to be very difficult if we can't contain this run game. And again, this is where we miss Shelby Harris. He is phenomenal on our run defense, and that's just a huge blow. And you see there again some numbers for Todd Gurley. First he has 8 touchdowns this season. It's going to be tough.
Let's see, Matt Ryan faking the handoff, but stopped behind the line by Josie Jewell. Thank you. So, after that big rush they had, it's a huge stop, keeping them back to about the Broncos' 40-yard line. So, big stop there, and we're expecting that we need Josie Jewell to have a big game. We've seen him do pretty well in the past few games there, but he needs to continue that performance.
Absolutely. It's going to be a big day for him. Again, we need some of these guys to really step up this game, so we'll see if they're able to do that throughout the course of this game.
Again, we got Matt Ryan, empty set. I expect him to – he's been picking on the left-hand side there, but he's looking around. Short dump-off pass, number 81, letting him get about 6 or 7 yards, bringing up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, that's Hurst there. Pretty solid tight end. Played for the Ravens for quite a while, and now with the Falcons, he's a solid option for them. As you see there, not just good pass protection, but is able to kind of get those. He's a solid reception guy too. So we'll see if we can limit him as well. The Broncos have had their history of struggling with tight ends. We'll see if that continues today.
You're seeing a lot of empty sets. Matt Ryan is pulling number 23 back in motion next to his right-hand side. Looking to blitz, potentially calling the changing the play at the line. Looking to throw again, not needing much. Batted at the line, incomplete. Not sure who got that, but fantastic. Exactly what you needed right here. Probably a little too far for field goal range, but Justin Simmons looks like to be the one who batted that down. Huge. Yep. good rush there, getting to the quarterback, and looking at the Atlanta offensive line, they've held up in this first drive pretty well. So finding a way to get through that offensive line is going to be huge. But looking at a 52-yard field goal attempt, definitely trying to get those points up early. And Youngho Koo has been looking fantastic this year.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a long attempt here. And
looks like it's down the middle, and he's got it. So early 3 points with a 52-yard field goal. That to me tells me that, look, they are not going to hold back. They know what position they're in, 2 and 6, and that's almost because on one of those situations that what do they have to lose? If they lose, they go 2 and 7, and that's kind of what they expect from them right now. So might as well go out there, trust their kicker, and make something happen. Again, KevDan and Jay here at Colorado Cork and Keg in Castle Rock, Colorado. Come on down for some great drinks, great food, and great people. We're going to be here with you the entire game, and glad you're here. Jose, Jeremy, Gregory, glad you're all here. Post your comments, post your questions. We're here to talk with you, not at you, so we want to hear what you're thinking throughout the entire game. So first drive there, ending with the field goal, and so what do you expect for the Broncos offense to do coming out?
Need to match it. It was a big stop there for the defense to hold them to a field goal, especially because it started to look like it was really starting to pick up for the Falcons there. They had that big rushing play, and then Josie Jewell kind of dismantled that momentum by holding them to a loss on that screenplay they had. So big performance by the defense there. If our defense can hold to their bend but don't break mentality that Vic Fangio has, if they're able to do that, the Broncos have a shot this game without a doubt. So if we can hold them to field goals, that's anytime we hold them to a field goal, that's a win, as long as our offense is able to keep pace. So I would say first drive of the game, we need at least a field goal. Again, just keep pace. The touchdown would obviously be ideal, but we don't want to start getting into these quick 3 and outs that we have a history of doing early in games. So get some momentum early going in our offense, establish our run game, and hopefully we can put some points on the board to match the Falcons there.
And that's exactly what we need to do. Again, we needed Drew Lock to come out, Philip Lindsay to come out, and just start looking phenomenal. Of course, Melvin Gordon is going to be the first one out there since we're paying him $15 million to fumble the ball every other carry. Maybe not that bad, but you're going to see him start out that first drive there. Hey guys, make sure you check out our podcast, post-game, pre-game podcast, as well as Ragers, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast, we are more than likely there. So just look up Orange Weekly and check out all of our podcast content. Glad you're here with us today. We are here at Colorado Cork and Geg, and we are going to be with you during the entire game. Looks like we got about 9:51 in the first quarter left, looking to kick off and see what Drew Lock and company can do coming out.
Yeah, we'll see. Special teams have obviously been a huge issue for the Broncos this year. We'll see if that could definitely play a factor in this game as well. So our first kind of look at our special teams with a kick return, and we'll see if he even has a chance to return it.
About 3 deep, and he does. Looking to see if he can make some room. Held up at about the 20-yard line. So again, fantastic. It's one of those things, you're 2 or 3 deep, you know what kind of special teams you have. Man, I'd almost let that one go. But again, going to see what Drew Lock and company can do coming out. Last week, Drew Lock was 26 for 41, touchdowns 3 to 1 interception. So, expect to see him there. And Philip Lindsay is out to start this drive. Looking to see Drew Lock in the shotgun, Philip Lindsay out to the right-hand side. Looking to see if we get that run game moving with Tim Patrick, who is active today, in motion to the left-hand side. Hand off to Philip Lindsay, making some cuts, getting about 2 yards there, bringing up 2nd and 8.
Not a bad look to start. I don't mind a run on the first play. Picked up 3 yards there. If he can average 3 to 4 yards to play, that's where you keep picking up first down. So hopefully we can establish that here. Makes an interesting second down play call here.
Yeah, definitely want to keep yourselves in that 3rd and short situation. And that goes without saying, right? But you got to find a way to keep the ball moving while not making too many stupid mistakes. Fake the handoff over to number 87 on the right. Got first down and more going down the field. Noah Fant there, huge catch and run down the field. Is limping off the field a little bit there. That's not what we wanted to see on the first pass of the game. Yeah, that's...
Well, I'd like to see your replay there. That's definitely he's obviously been battling an injury the past few weeks. And
Ankle injury, right?
Yeah, and he's in a lot of pain right there. We'll see. We'll give you an update as soon as we get one, but that's not what you want to see.
Drew Lock under center, handing it off to Philip Lindsay off the left-hand side, looking for a hole, doesn't get one, and is sacked behind or tackled behind the line, back at the 50, looking for that 3rd and long. Definitely, ouch. You know, you get that big pass, and you're hoping to build off of that, right? But unfortunately, just now you're faced with that 3rd and long and expecting that Drew Lock throwing arm to come out here.
Yeah, that Van's ankle definitely got twisted up there. I'm not sure if it's the same ankle he's been dealing with, but he's still talking to the athletic trainers on the side, so we'll see what happens. 2nd and 15 for the Broncos.
Melvin Gorin off to the right-hand side. Drew Lock looking to throw. Pocket collapsing, moving around, dumping it off. No one open down the field. So here we are at about the Broncos 45-yard line or so, looking to punt, coming out. Not 3 and out, but...
well, we still have one more down here. Give them some credit.
Oh, sorry. My bad. You're right.
One more play here. I mean...
I pulled a Tom Brady there. Was that 3rd down? 3rd down? What? I guess my mind's kind of going a little bit too. But, you know, I'm not Tom Brady, thank God. Okay, 3rd and 15, Drew Lock again in the shotgun. And, you know, that's some fantastic coverage. Look to see what he does here. Dumping it off to number 17, Hamilton, I'm sorry. Getting maybe about 7 yards or so, bringing up that 4th down this time for real.
Yep, we'll have to punt here. Again, this has been a bit of an issue that we noticed a bit last week and so far this week. You know, you have a 3rd down situation, you throw the ball well behind that first line to gain. I get it. You want to make some safe plays. You don't want to turn it over. It's not open. But see, that is a pattern going into this game here is if on those 3rd down plays, you constantly throw it short and expect big gains after the catch.
Broncos looking to punt with just a little more than 7 minutes left here in the first half, and Broncos calling a timeout here with being 4th and 6. So not understanding why we're calling a timeout right off the bat.
Yeah.
Unless you see some mismatch out there or some incorrect player group.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. To be honest, Vic Fangio doesn't look very thrilled about whatever it is going on. But yeah, you don't really like using up a timeout on a 4th down situation where you're punting. I mean, that's something out of it, either too many men on the field or something was looking off there. Showing McManus, if maybe I don't know. I don't know why McManus would even attempt a field goal here. That'd be a very distant field goal.
Yeah.
And here we are looking like to punt again. So wasted timeout. That's somebody's mental error there. So we'll see what happens at the end of the half.
Punt at about the 15-yard line, fair catch, and here we see the Falcons offense come back out on the field once again. Kind of what we saw from the first 2 drives there. Broncos were able to hold their own, but you got to remember both field goal kickers, you and McManus there are just fantastic. So even if you stop them at the 40-yard line, 8-yard line, you're still going to expect those 50-plus yard field goals, and that could mean a huge difference. Or I think most teams would maybe punt in that situation. But I'm not saying you're seeing a desperate Atlanta team, but just a team that says, come on, what do we have to lose?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and when you can trust your kicker's leg strength, that's a huge thing, right? I mean, that's especially when your team like the Broncos, who have had special team woes. Your one thing that they've had going for them is McManus on special teams. He's been phenomenal, and so yeah, if you trust that kicking leg and you think that going for that field goal attempt is better than trying to punt and trying to pin them in. Yeah, absolutely go for it. Points are points at that point, and especially for this game, every point is going to be absolutely crucial to get. So I would have liked to see the Broncos pick up, another first down there to get us into field goal range to match up there, especially after that great Noah Fant run. Huge play, and I think that's what the Broncos have to start figuring out is how to string those plays together. You can't go, have a big play like that where you pick up big yardage, move the chains, and then your next 2 plays are basically wasted plays. One where there's zero run protection, and then Philip Lindsay had nowhere to go, and the next Drew Lock had to basically just throw it away because of some poor protection, and so that's been an issue with the Broncos, I think, all season. Is they'll have one big play, and then the next 3 plays are terrible, and you got to find a way to string those plays together and form an actual drive. You can't just rely on one or two plays of drive and expect that to produce points every time. You have to be able to do it consistently down the entire way.
Yeah, Noah Fant did get injured on that catch and run that he had, so we'll wait and see. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but you never know with the Broncos this season. Again, KevDan and Jason here at Colorado Cork and Keg. We're going to be with you during the entire Broncos game today, so don't listen to those announcers on TV. Just hang out with us. And again, post your comments, post your questions. We're here to talk with you today. Jared will be here for the halftime hash, so stay here for that. Talking about Noah Fant, we got Ojemudia, Okawebanam, sorry, one of those weird O names. Okawebanam then is going to be the main tight end. And, we know Pat Shermer loves to use the tight end, so we're going to need to see what happens. But we got Matt Ryan under center again, 2 backs out there, looking to see what they do. Again, changing the play. Matt Ryan expecting some pressure there. 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Handing it off and getting about 4 yards on that run up the middle there. A little bit of shoving going on there. Malik Reed maybe getting a little frustrated right off the bat, or at least trying to show that they're not messing around today. But with that 2nd and 6, definitely need to show some fight.
Yeah, seriously. Again, that's another good first down yardage there for Gurley to pick up. Again, that makes it 2nd and manageable right away and opens up the playbook for a 2nd down play here. Wouldn't be surprised about play action here.
Got motion across the field, looking to hand off to Gurley, and he is stopped. No, he is stopped after about a 3-yard gain, bringing up 3rd and short there.
Yeah,
man.
Can't have those missed tackles there. You had a chance to stop him at the line of scrimmage. Instead, you give him 3 more yards, ending up 3rd and 3. Got to find a way to stop him on contact there.
I'm seeing them really test that left-hand side there. I guess staying away from Josie Jewell a little bit, really testing Bassey over there on the right hand or the left-hand side. So something to keep watch of. Big pass getting about 5 yards past the first down marker to Gage Jr. So here we are again. You're giving up those chunk plays. You can't allow that.
Yeah, especially again this team. Once you get them in rhythm, especially Matt Ryan, you're allowing him to throw those shorter passes to get in that rhythm, get their confidence going. It's going to be tough to slow them down here if you keep allowing those. Already 4 first down for the Falcons and only 1 for the Broncos here.
Matt Ryan, 6 for 7, 32 yards, and I guess they're going to keep utilizing that run game to open up the pass game like they do here. About an 8-yard play there over to number 11, Jones. They're just finding ways to get people open. They're getting success, at least somewhat, from Todd Gurley. And when you get in those, 2nd and medium kind of situations, yeah, like you said, it opens up the entire playbook at that point.
Yeah, we'll see here what comes up here. Again, Broncos have to find a way to push back here. Jones obviously is their main target right now, and we'll see if we can find a way to stop them here on 3rd down.
Falcons using a lot of motion there, getting number 83 for a screen pass there, getting about 3 yards for bringing up a 3rd and 1. Yeah, a lot of motion trying to catch our defense off guard, and they just got to find a way to make sure that they don't allow that, right? So whenever you get them in these 3rd down situations whatsoever, you got to be ready because it's, I think a lot of teams would just try that run play, but when it comes to Matt Ryan and the Falcons, you never know what they're going to try to do. They have so many weapons at their disposal. You would expect that they use Todd Gurley, but that's not the case every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is, like we said, opens up the playbook for them. We'll see how they go.
Like a run up the middle, getting about that 1 or 2 yards from number 40. Number 40 Smith there. So again, bringing up that 1st down, just right on the line there. They might look at that, but with so much commotion, I don't think they're going to bring out the chains or anything. It is kind of just where they spotted it, and I think that was I think it went a little bit past that. So
yeah, not a great spot, but I think it was enough for the 1st down. And yep, they're not going to bring out the chains. They're just going to say 1st and 10, and Here we go, new set of downs.
Atlanta 40-yard line, running up the middle, getting about 3 yards there. Number 23. Bring up that 2nd and 8. About 3:30 left in the first quarter. Sorry, 2nd and 7. And this is something else Falcons are trying to do. Keep Drew Lock off the field. You don't need huge plays. And with Broncos getting -2 rush yards in their first game or their first drive there, hey, just keep them off the field. Don't need any big plays. You got Justin Simmons out there in the backfield, and there's no reason to test them that bad. Heading off to number 23 once again, going down for the first down. Again, another missed tackle. Number 3, 23 Hill getting that first down.
Yeah. Using that stiff arm, and man, he just made our defender look pretty bad there, to put it lightly. I mean, just stiff arm right to the head, threw him down. Looks like that was OJ Mudia. Tough sell there. This is like you said. They're starting to pull a long drive, and the Broncos aren't exactly known for their long offensive drives. So the more you can keep our offense off the field, the more it greatly benefits the Falcons. 1st and 10 again for the Falcons at midfield.
Right on the 50-yard line and looking to call a timeout.
No, got a flag here.
We got a
Looks
flag,
like
so that is on the offense.
Yep, false start. So that helps us a little bit, but still first down. We got to find a way to stop these, chunk plays that the Falcons are continuously getting this drive. Those 5, 6, 7 yard per play. That's a very good recipe for disaster if you're the Broncos.
Yeah.
So,
and when you find yourself in these situations with the Falcons making a mistake, you got to find a way to capitalize on it, right? So we got Matt Ryan handing off in the backfield over to number 75 Powell, getting about 5 yards, bringing up 2nd and 10-ish with 2 minutes 6 seconds left in the first quarter there. Again, their offense is getting creative, lots of motion. Looks like a jet sweep back there, if I'm not mistaken. Bring up 2nd and 11. So again, they're just trying to get creative, and heck, what do they have to lose?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's you're a 2-6 team. You have some confidence going, some recent success, and again, right now you're having your way with this Broncos defense. So why not open the playbook wide open?
Well, you got an empty set, getting some pressure there in the backfield by number 95, going right down the middle. Not even getting touched. I mean, batted down pass once again. And, now you get that 3rd and long that you definitely want to be in. But he moved fast.
There was some miscommunication there on the offensive line. You can tell. Looks like 51 was supposed to block him, but he had the wrong assignment there is what it looks like. And yeah, our guy was able to just walk right in, and lucky for Matt Ryan, it was only batted down and he didn't take a sack there.
So with the run game, you have options of, passing or running there with Matt Ryan in shotgun formation. Looking to pass, giving him some time in the pocket, big pass down the field. See if he's open. Gets the touchdown completion. Number 17, Zacchaeus, if I'm saying that correctly. Huge pass. Our guy was just a step behind him. I couldn't tell who that was, number 22. With a flag, though, so see what happens here if it comes back.
Yeah,
they are walking up the field.
Pass interference. Yeah, I expect that to be pass interference on the Broncos. They are talking about it just to be sure here, but there's the official call. Pass interference on the Broncos obviously will be declined. Fantastic pass on Matt Ryan's part. Great grab, and you had to step on our corner there. And again, that's those are the plays we are going to miss. Both Bouye and Callahan is those big balls there. I mean, our guy was just simply beat. No other way to say it. He was a solid step behind, and tough to allow a 3rd and 11 play turn into a touchdown. And just like that, with 1:24 left, the Falcons are now up 10-0, and the Broncos have 1 first down. They have -2 rushing yards. They've been held off the field for quite a while, so no rhythm going. Drew Lock's a bit cold right now. Definitely not the way you want to start this game. And like I said, we can't afford to start a game slow against this Falcons team, because that's what they're able to do. They're able to turn those quick plays, those quick drives into big touchdown drives there. Like you said, we got to take advantage of their mistakes. They made a mistake on that first down on that false start, and we held them to 3rd and 11. and again, allowed a touchdown on that play. So that's one that I'm sure Vic Fangio is not going to be happy about. That's something they got to fix right away, because if they don't, we're in for a long day here.
No, I think the Broncos offense have been out there for maybe 3 minutes out of this entire first quarter with about a minute 20 or so left. Yeah, I mean, if our offense can't find a way to answer and move the ball ourselves, that's where you're looking for a recipe for disaster. And you can't expect to come down from 17 plus points in every game. So you're already 10 down. Yeah, it's early on, but you can't keep digging yourself in a hole like this. You've got to find a way to make things happen. Expect Drew Lock to, I'd say, open up a little bit and see what he can do. But again, glad everyone is here. Let's see who got beat. Number 22, I believe. I can't remember who that was. Number 22 looks to be
Kareem Jackson.
And he was just a half a step behind. So, but when you got Matt Ryan back there, that's all you need to put that ball in the receiver's hands and get the first down, or a touchdown in this case.
Absolutely. No major update on Noah Fant yet. There was a conflicting report where Andrew Mason said he was not going to the locker room, yet Schefter said he did head to the locker room. So not sure which one is accurate there. I'd be curious to see if he was able to head to the locker room and not head to the locker room all at the same time. That would be an impressive feat. But other than that, no official word on Noah Fant yet. So we'll see if he is able to join the Broncos here on this next drive.
We had talked about this in the pregame, Jay. This is a game where our offense is going to have to carry the team, because when we're so beat up on the defense there with no Shelby Harris, no AJ Bowie, no Bryce Callahan, you can't have your offense go out there and get one first down and then go out. This is a situation where they have to pick it up a little bit, find that rhythm early, because otherwise you're going to be in that terrible situation we're in already. That drive lasted about 9 minutes for the Falcons.
Yeah, absolutely. And our last drive, we were saying that they could settle for a field goal and that'd be okay. Now they have to get a touchdown on this one. This is a touchdown drive that you have to have, as again, we try to run it out of the end zone, and we'll get to about the 26-yard line, so a better return there. Official report on Noah Fant is he is now questionable to return to the game, so we'll see. And there is a flag on this play.
Hopefully it's not on the Broncos, but I expect a block in the back at this point. Bringing them back again. At this point, our special teams is just struggling. If it's in the end zone, just don't return it. At this point, let it bounce in the backfield there. You can just see how our special teams has done all year. There is no reason for us to go out there and try to make something fantastic, happen. You're just setting yourself up for situations like this, where I expect, where the refs are talking about it right now, could very well easily be on the Broncos, waiting for the call.
Yeah, there's been a pretty lengthy discussion here. I'm not sure what it's about. I'm not sure if it's about where the ball's going to be placed or what exactly the flag is for. But they're still discussing this, so we'll see what comes of it. But showing the sideline right now, Fangio does not look happy again. I think that was the special teams coordinator who he was talking to, and a lot of bit of heated discussion looked like they're on the sideline.
It better be, don't return the football. Unless it's, outside of the end zone, just let it go.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the officials looks like they're finally about to tell us what the heck is going on. And it is against the Broncos. Oh.
Also got a personal foul on the Falcons there, so I'm guessing those are going to offset. They're going to redo the kick. No, they're just going to allow the Broncos to go first down.
Could I get some water, please?
Avalanche. Yeah, so we are here at Colorado Cork and Keg, where they have some fantastic drinks, food, everything you need for a Broncos game. So coming out here, Castle Rock, Colorado, right off the Wolfensburg exit of I-25. Okay, here we go. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line, it looks like.
Officials are talking again. Yeah, I would have expected, if they were offsetting penalties, to replay the kick.
That's what I expected.
And it looks like the officials are now trying to figure that out as well amongst themselves. Lots of discussion here.
AJ, Shannon, how y'all doing today? Glad you're with us. And again, Jason and I are going to be here throughout the entire game. While these refs continue to talk amongst themselves, so hopefully the Broncos offense are coming up with some plans on something they can try to get the ball moving early. You know, this is not the start to a drive we wanted with those penalties. And yeah, it's on the 25-yard line or so, but we'll see what happens here with the refs call.
And looks like they're trying to figure out still. And Drew Lock's even asking if it can just get going here. I'm not really sure how you have this much confusion on.
Yeah, I can't tell what's really going on, but looks like they did move the ball to the Broncos' 23-yard line, so a little bit better there. Finally, after about 20 minutes of refs discussing, we get Drew Lock rolling out to the left, big pass, going down to the 40, caught by number 10,
Jerry Jeudy.
About a 15, maybe 20-yard play there. And this is what we're talking about. Hey, Drew Lock, go out there, be you. You know, when it comes to those pass plays, we got the speed, and Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler, find the open guy and make something happen. So in that crossing route, that was fantastic.
Yeah, great route run there by Jeudy. Almost dropped the ball there. He has had issues with that, but was able to hang on to it and got the reception.
We got number 25, Melvin Gordon, rushing up the middle for about 3 yards, bringing up 2nd and 7. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So again, here we have first down where it's a very fantastic play, you know, from the last Jerry Jeudy catch there. And now what are you going to do? Are you going to move the chains, or are you going to let them sit there and force you to punt? 27 seconds left in the first quarter. So, man, I don't know. You just gotta do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. Gordon's out in motion, empty backfield.
Looking for a big pass, trying to keep the momentum going. Caught by number 13.
Hamler.
KJ Hamler.
Excellent catch there. Very strong throwing ball there by Locke. I mean, that had some heat on it. So for Hamler to be able to dial that in, that was an exceptional catch there. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Falcons 10, Broncos 0. But Broncos starting to piece together some good plays here. We'll see if they're able to take that into the second quarter and finish a drive here, hopefully in the end zone. That's again what we said is needed. They can't settle for a field goal here, and obviously can't settle for 0 points. You know, they've had some issues with the red zone this year. You know, I mean, not just this year, but recently. And so that's going to be another key I don't think we've really talked about yet this game is once you get into the red zone, what are they able to do with that? Are they able to finally punch into the red zone as often as they're going to need to today? And this drive's looking promising, but again, they're not quite there yet.
So when you know, have that passing game, you've got to open it, you know, you got to allow it to open up the run game. And when you do have those rushing attempts, you got to make the most out of it. And that's what I expect to see. You know, we get these fantastic passes, and I think the football started to glow orange there for a second with how much heat it had on it. It was moving so fast through the air there. AJ, don't like the sound of doubter. Due to being a lifelong Broncos fan, do you guys think that Pat Shurmur is the answer for the offense? If Locke gets a chance to be himself and play sheriff like Manning, I believe he could bring our offense to another gear. Yeah, and again, that's something that only time will tell. You know, this is a very, very young offense. Yeah, they've had their struggles. Drew Lock was out for essentially 4 games with, you know, after going out in the first quarter against Pittsburgh. They didn't have an off season. This is a brand new offense, brand new offensive coordinator, all these young players. You got to give it time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the key, right? It's that consistency. You know, it's a young quarterback. If we bring in another offensive coordinator, that's 3 systems he will have been trying to learn in his first 3 years in the NFL. I don't think Drew Lock, at least right now, is nowhere near Manning's ability to dissect a play, dissect a defense, and run the show himself like Manning was able to. I don't think that's in Locke's skill set. I think he's showing some promise in being able to, you know, do things like pick up on some blitzes and make some adjustments. But Manning was so brilliant being able to dissect the defense. He could be the sheriff. He could call any play he wanted because he was able to pick that up. But I don't think Shermer's going anywhere anytime soon, and I don't think that's the right answer to get rid of him. Again, young quarterbacks need some consistency in their early years. So I would expect Shermer to be around for if not at least this season, next season, but going forward from there.
Like you said, these young players need something to build off of, and when you keep having to reset and relearn from scratch, it just doesn't help you. Okay, we got Atlanta 10, Broncos 0. Broncos driving down the field to start the second half on the Atlanta 47-yard line. 1st and 10. Looking for that run game over to Melvin Gordon, getting about, again, 1, maybe 2 yards.
And some good news seeing Noah Fant back out on the field. So he has returned, which is good news for the Broncos, and hopefully he's able to stay healthy through the rest of this game here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have Noah Fant out with all the other injuries we have, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You got to find a way to make something happen. It looks like Melvin Gordon is staying in there. We haven't seen Philip Lindsay for a little bit now, so hopefully nothing's wrong back there. But we got Drew Lock under center, Melvin Gordon in the backfield, some motion off to the right-hand side from Hamler. Looking to hand off the ball and got some jet sweep going on. Hamler with some
great
speed
block
up the right-hand side. A couple great blocks, getting about 15-plus yards there. Man, I mean, we talk about it a lot, but when you see that speed, it is phenomenal.
Yeah, he can change gears so fast, and that was a great play call, I think. Get some misdirection there. And yeah, he just turns that corner, starts run upfield, and yeah, Fant with a fantastic couple of blocks there. Great play. And we ourselves, it looks like, are having there we go. Camera cut back out, but we're back here.
Drew Lock looking to throw. Big throw off to the right-hand side. Almost caught, but bounced off of the Falcons defender's helmet. I guess that's one way to use your head. And yes, I am a corny joke guy. So that's how it's going to be today.
Yeah, not great press protection there. Judy was there for it, but yeah, it was some pretty good coverage there by the Falcons, and Judy was just unable to haul in that catch there. So now we got 2nd and 10, and Philip Lindsay's back in the game.
We can talk more about that later. That was a good pass by Drew Lock. He was under pressure, made that throw happen. He couldn't have done anything better on that play. But we do have an empty backfield there with Drew Lock looking to throw on 2nd and 10. Moving out to the right-hand side, and pass blocked down by number 24. Bringing up that 3rd and 10, and here we go. We found ourselves in that situation we were talking about just a little bit ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, big 3rd down play, and you don't like to be in 3rd and long situations here. And again, the past 2 plays now, not great pass protection for Drew Lock. That time he had to get out of the pocket. That throw wasn't great. Even if that wasn't defended, it was nowhere near Philip Lindsay, his intended target. So Broncos are 0-1 on 3rd down conversions here after today's game. Big play. We'll see. I mean, they're in field goal range right now, but again, we can't just settle for field goals today. So we'll see what happens here on 3rd and 10.
Melvin Gordon off to the left in the backfield. Drew Lock again looking to throw. Big throw down the field, just out of reach of Tim Patrick, and looking for a flag. And there is none. There is no flag. Which
I'd like to see a replay, but I think initially I agree with the call. I think it was pretty well defended. I think it was pretty mutual hand fighting there. We'll get a replay here to see Tim Patrick was the target. And yeah, that's a great no call.
That ball was just outside of Tim Patrick's reach anyway, but no pulling of the jersey, no pulling his arm back. And so here we go, settling on a field goal. McManus looking to kick right down the middle, plenty of distance. Broncos now getting on the goal for the first time. 10-3 with the Falcons leading, 13 and a half minutes left in the second quarter.
I mean, so here's the thing. You like to see at least some points on the board, but again, Broncos aren't known for long drives on offense. That did not take much time off the clock. We had a few big plays, which allowed us to get downfield. But if the Falcons are able to consistently take off 9 minutes on the clock and get touchdowns, and we have 2-minute drives with field goals, this is going to get lopsided very quickly here. So now we need our defense to step up. not only get off the field, but make it quick here. Get our offense right back on the field. And again, this is where it plays into our defense getting tired, right? Even when you're getting points on the board, your drive is so short that your defense doesn't have a ton of time to rest. And so that's been an issue in previous weeks. Is you get towards the end of the game, our defense is just exhausted from spending so much time on the field. And again, you're already starting to see some lopsided numbers as far as time of possession here, and it's going to be a pretty big drive here, both for the Falcons offense and our defense. Our defense obviously needs to stop. If the Falcons are able to march down the field with those short gains again, it's just going to start looking a little not nothing for certain here. The game won't be called or anything, but 17-3 deficit is not what you want against this Falcons team.
Rizuki, if I'm saying your name wrong, I completely apologize. Holding on the last pass, I don't know about that. Maybe right off line of scrimmage, but that's within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage there. The ball was just slightly overthrown. I would have to agree that it was a good no call, but obviously it's disappointing when you see a drive like that end in that kind of situation.
Absolutely. And, I'm okay with that no call as long as it goes both ways. I'm okay with that kind of hand fighting and the players kind of battling for that. I think that there was that slight grab on his right arm, but that pass was out of reach anyways. And so I think that's why they decided not to throw the flag, is determined basically it was uncatchable at that point. Because, he dove for it and it was still out of his reach. So at that point, that little bit of hold didn't cause any true effect on that play. So I'm okay with the refs not calling those penalties in today's game.
No, we agree that the ref should not have called that game. Do you know who you should call?
Who?
Centennial State Insurance Agency. These guys are fantastic. I want to thank them for sponsoring us. Smaller agency. They're not one of these big corporations. Please give them a call, 303-838-0554. If you're shopping around or looking for any insurance, they will help you out in any way possible, even if it means they tell you, hey, we're not the best option. So try getting that from a bigger insurance agency. You're not going to find it. So here we go. Second quarter, 13:27 left, kicking off to the Falcons and going for the touchback there, letting it go through the end zone. Like you said, you got to find a way to stop them. At this rate, if you keep doing this, the Falcons are going to keep putting up points. The defense is going to stay out there for longer, and the Broncos are going to get maybe 5 tries this game the way it's going, and that's. And I get we're banged up on offense, or I'm sorry, on defense, but you got to find a way to stop Matt Ryan and company. So here you go, Matt Ryan under center with motion off to the left-hand side. Looks like fake handoff and looking to pass, giving him plenty of time in the backfield there.
We'll see. I'm not sure if he caught that or not.
It was close. They're saying it was down
incomplete.
Yep. So good job by the Denver D. But again, the Falcons' offensive line is giving him all day. He's making his first, second, third reads and then going back to his first read again. So good call by the refs. Definitely incomplete pass there by Gage.
A little concerning, though, to see a receiver that open. It was a bit of a bad pass from Matt Ryan's part. His receiver was wide open for him.
Matt Ryan in the backfield again with Todd Gurley off to the right-hand side, loaded up on the left-hand side with the two receivers. Again, fake handoff, quick pass, stopped by number 27, and maybe a 7-yard gain there, bringing up third and short once again.
Yeah, that's a good pickup for the Falcons there. Third and manageable here. We'll see. Big third down
interesting. Here. Non-Broncos news, it looks like Carolina showed up to play against the Chiefs today, so that'll be interesting to follow. But Matt Ryan in the backfield, empty set, motion from the left-hand side. 3rd and 3 is looking to throw. These are interesting situations here. Getting some pressure, but caught there for about 5-yard gain by number 17. Again, low throw, but easily caught. Nobody really around him to stop that from happening. But this is what I'm talking about. When you get those third and short situations, when you're the Falcons, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, absolutely. Again, it's an entirely wide open playbook for them. And just like that, again, it's a new set of downs. Clock's still running. Already time of possession, Falcons have over 11 minutes. Broncos don't even have 6 minutes yet.
Big pass from from the Falcons there, about a 12-yard gain. Again, there we go. Falcons just moving the chain, getting those chunk plays, and exactly what they got to find a way to stop it. And if they don't do it now, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt. And hopefully, you come out of the second half with some, halftime adjustments. But you got to look at this right now and say, hey, we got to make some adjustments earlier than that.
Absolutely. Again, just like that, another first down. They're about midfield.
Matt Ryan, 1st and 10. Todd Gurley behind him. Expecting a run play. There it is, off the right-hand side, and stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 3 Broncos all over him. Number 34, Bassie, being there first to make the stop. Bring out that 2nd and long. And once again, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to let this advantage slip through your fingers? 2nd and 13, actually.
Yep. Good run defense there. We need more of that. Shut down the run game, force them into passing situations, which we can hopefully better cover.
Here you go, Matt Ryan looking to throw, pocket holding, he's rolling out to the right-hand side, running, big pass.
Oh, man.
Wide open, number 17, it looks like 27.
It's Kareem Jackson again.
Beat hardcore.
That's not what you like to see. They're starting to pick on Kareem Jackson, and it looks like rightfully so, as that time there was 3 steps of separation there. Able to force Matt Ryan out of the pocket and everything, and yet still able to get that open. I mean, just beat easily. Easy reception. Kareem Jackson needs to pick it up a bit, or we need to find a way to support him, because 17 on the Falcons right now is just lighting him up. 4 targets, 4 receptions for 103 yards.
Yeah, that's not where you want to see that stat line at all. Matt Ryan looking to pass, going to the end zone, and good defense. Yeah, no flag being thrown.
And again, I like that. They're going to let them play both ways, it looks like, and I'm totally okay with that. Pretty solid defense by OJ Mudiga there. But here we are, red zone situation. It's the first red zone drive by either team today. We'll see if our defense is able to hold them to a field goal here, or hopefully what would be better yet is a turnover.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. But, 10:09 left in the second quarter, and you got to find a way to make something happen. You got Todd Gurley off to the right, left-hand side of Matt Ryan, looking for the handoff up the middle, and Gurley getting about 4 yards there, bringing up 3rd and 6 or so. Yeah, I mean, obviously a field goal would be okay, but again, now you're just putting yourself 10 points behind again. And so what are you going to do to close that deficit, and sooner rather than later?
Absolutely. And again, 3rd down, we've struggled with 3rd downs today. It's bizarre to me how you can hold the Chiefs to 0 3rd down conversions for an entire game. And I think the Falcons, here you go, 5 for 6 today on 3rd down conversions. Got to figure a way to start having a more stout 3rd down defense today.
Matt Ryan, empty set, and you're seeing a lot of empty sets in today's game. Really just trying to get there, and touchdown. Number 31, Justin Simmons, beat number 15, Powell from the Falcons, getting that touchdown. Man, that hurts, You expect our best players like Justin Simmons to find a way to stop that big 3rd down play. Looking to see what happened there, waiting for the replay. But again, it comes down to their offensive line is just shutting us down. So when you give Matt Ryan 20 minutes in the pocket, Justin Simmons was just off by about 2 or 3 steps, so made it a really easy play. Broncos looking to go down 17-3 with a little more than 9 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yep, and again, here you go, time of possession, over 14 minutes for the Falcons so far. Broncos haven't even hit 6 minutes. So obviously we haven't had our next drive yet, but that time of possession is worse than 2-1 right now. You're not going to win too many football games when the time of possession is that lopsided. And so here we are in a situation. Again, this is what I was talking about before. You can't expect to go down 21 points against Falcons and expect to come back like you did against the Chargers. The Chargers have a lot of issues right now on their end. They're a very inexperienced team. They obviously have some, mental issues of just having that choke mentality at this point that favored the Broncos, where that team gets the, oh no, here we go again mentality. Falcons don't have that. Falcons are starting to close out games well. They're starting to play really well. this is rough, and they got to figure out a way to stop having these slow starts to games. You can't always expect to go into halftime, make magic adjustments, and come out and make up these deficits in the second half. And so here we are, 10 minutes into about 9 minutes left in the first half, down 17-3, and now we're in a must-score situation. If we don't get a touchdown here, it's going to start looking really bad for the Broncos here. They have to find a way to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, you need some quick scores too. You need to let Drew Lock be himself, open up some pass plays with some deep options, some short ones as well for him to dump it off if needed. Obviously, try to keep that run game going, but at some point, you got to make something happen. Yeah, good comment here. Right side safety is weak link. I mean, at this point, I think our whole backfield is a weak link.
Yeah, and this is again, these are the issues you get when you're missing your top two corners. Is it puts an increased load on your safeties, right? And so Simmons and Kareem Jackson aren't really known specific for their pass coverage in one-on-one situations, right? They're safeties for a reason. And Kareem Jackson is kind of showing why he's a safety and not a corner right now, right? And they're picking on him. You saw Justin Simmons get beat on that one-on-one coverage there. It's a big issue. And again, I think you're starting to see some issues of no Shelby Harris, right? He is a huge part of this defense right now, and not having him is tough. And here you see the first three possessions for the Falcons start on their own 25, own 15, own 25, all leading to points and taking off solid time off the clock as well.
Falcons kicking off to the Broncos, and here where I expect them to just let this one. Oh, it is actually outside the end zone, so you expect the run back. That makes sense. Trying to get some cutbacks up the inside and being out to the Falcons. Oh, yep, 29-yard line. Not a bad run back, but again, and also a short kick. So, hey, if the Broncos are going to keep trying to run it back 2 or 3 yards deep in the end zone, might as well kick it short because, hey, you're doing pretty well except for that last one.
Yeah, absolutely. And even then, we got to about the 30-yard line, almost kind of broke through. That would have been a big return. And that's what you would like to see is, right, somebody here needs to make a big play, right? Whether it's your special teams, whether it's someone on offense, somebody, just like we saw last week with Lindsey with that 55-yard touchdown run, somebody here needs to step up.
Drew Lock looking to throw and getting sacked. Philip Lindsay unable to get that block. I mean, I think that guy has 120 pounds on Philip Lindsay, so I don't know how you could really ask him to do much against that big fella.
Yeah, I would still say that's a little shocking. Philip Lindsay's great in pass protection usually. Usually he's able to chip them off and run them by, but yeah, that time he just got overpowered. That's not what you like to see.
Right off the bat there.
2nd and 21.
So, I think you're expecting that pass play. Hand off to Philip Lindsay, actually up the middle, getting 7 yards or so. Bring up 3rd and very long. Oh, man, this is exactly what we talked about in the pregame, where you do not get yourself into this position.
Absolutely.
And they found their way to put themselves in this position.
Absolutely. Literally the last thing we could afford here is a 3 and out, and here we are in 3rd and 15. This is.
Let's see what Drew Lock can do. Give him plenty of time. Jump on fast.
And again, there it is. 3rd and 15. You have some time to let the play develop, and instead you go with a quick little dump pass to Gordon, who then has to try to find a way to get 13 yards to gain after his catch. I don't understand why. It's 3rd and 15. I mean, throw the ball at least 15 yards there. And again, it wasn't like he didn't have time there. He had at least 2 more seconds to let the play develop and try to find an open receiver. And this is, where I start to, wonder what's going on with whether it's the coaching staff telling Drew Lock what to do, or if it's just Drew Lock being a little hesitant on getting those plays to happen on 3rd down. But I don't understand why we're dumping the ball 2 yards on 3rd and long. And just like that, 3 and out for the Broncos. And here comes the Falcons, whose so far offense has been unstoppable. I mean, that took, a minute off the clock, if that.
A minute.
I mean, Broncos are running themselves into a giant hole right now.
Yeah. the Falcons were rushing 3 on that play. If your offensive line can't hold 3 players for an extra second for you to find something to develop down the field, and that looked rushed, And obviously, I'm not in Drew Lock's shoes. I'm sure things happen a lot faster, in his position there. But we're looking at this, and you're like, there's not even a ton of pressure. They're not blitzing anyone. They're bringing in 3 people, and yeah, they're covering the ball down the field better. But
And that has been a criticism of Drew Lock part of the season is getting that happy feet in the pocket, right? Where there's been multiple times this season. I'd like to see a replay, but leaving the pocket before he needs to, right? The protection's
that's
solid.
exactly what that was.
The protection's there. He has time, and instead he tries to force the play. And again, yeah, he just got hit on that first down, but he's got to find a way to start staying in his pocket, hanging in there a bit longer, even when there's pressure, hanging in that pocket. I think that's what you see Matt Ryan's great at is he hangs in that pocket, and even when there's pressure in his face, he'll throw the pass instead of Don't get me wrong, there's a time to run and everything, but Drew Lock is starting to get some bad habits of leaving that pocket way too soon, scrambling around and trying to, finding plays that aren't there. And there again, 3rd and 15, you throw the ball 2 yards instead of hanging in the pocket, letting the play develop because you need a first down there.
Jared will be with us, actually be running the halftime hash, you guys. Once halftime starts, of course, he's going to take that over, but we will be back after halftime to call the rest of the game for y'all. Glad you're here with us. Hit that share button. This is a fun time. We enjoy doing this, and we do this for you guys. So keep those comments and questions coming our way. I know it's tough to maybe type all the plays are happening quick and dirty like that, but yeah, I want to talk with you guys and see what you think. But look, here we go. Broncos. I know the defense is beat up. I get it to a degree, but holy crap, they're not getting any help from their offense. They're Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson are getting picked on. Those are 2 guys. Before the game, I was like, we didn't even talk about them because they're going to be the ones that step up and play solid. You got to be worried more about the other 2 cornerbacks there, but that's just not the case. And here we go with Matt Ryan under center to start their drive here. 7:12 left, getting about 3 or 4 yards in the middle there, bringing them to their own 21-yard line. So bringing up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and we just saw there's the difference in total yards. Falcons now with about so Falcons have 210 total yards. The Broncos were at about 96. Again, it's just mind-boggling how a team can consistently come out this slow and seemingly unprepared for each game they play.
Matt Ryan looking at the screen pass over there and gets the first down. Jeremy, sorry, we cannot show the game. The NFL will shut us down so quickly, and we've been doing this for 5 years, and then we just disappear off Facebook and everywhere. So cannot show the game, unfortunately. This is the best we can do. Glad you're here. AJ, this is a really good question about Vaughn coming back sooner than expected. I think that's a good halftime question. Or, of course, if you can't answer the question today, join us for Monday, Orange Weekday After Dark, and Tuesday, Bourbon Broncos, No BS, our other live shows. 1st and 10 for Atlanta. Broncos trying to get something going on defense there. And quick
shuffle pass.
Shuffle pass, yep, getting the first down. Looks like Malik was about to get in the face of Matt Ryan, and he was able to just get that ball out of his hands. So well drawn up play and have that guy available right there.
Well, and again, there you see that poise that Matt Ryan has, sticking in the pocket, letting the play develop, letting the play come to him instead of running away and trying to start force things.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line and get a big hole up in the middle, getting about 8 yards there. Jesus. Again, chunk plays, just run out the clock.
Yeah, and already Falcons at about midfield here on this drive. Broncos just don't seem to have an answer, and we've gone from holding them to at least some shorter gains, 3-4 yard gains, to now they're picking up 9 yards seemingly per carry here, and finally able to stop in the backfield. Bassey and here we'll have a 3rd and long. But the last time we had 3rd and long, they got a touchdown out of it. So we'll see if they're able to hold them. This would be a big stop for our defense if we're able to stop them here.
Yeah, heck, if I'm Matt Ryan, just lob it down the field because it's worked a couple times now. Go on the empty set, and you're getting plenty of time in the pocket for your offense. But here you go with number 23 off to the right of Matt Ryan, waiting to throw again. Big pass, not necessarily the end zone.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Jackson definitely got him early. I don't know what I have no idea what Kareem Jackson's trying to argue. I mean, we'll see the talking about. No, yeah, I mean he tackled him before the ball was even there. I don't know how you try to argue that one. And again, picking on Kareem Jackson. And the Falcons now 7 for 8 on 3rd downs.
He's making it easy for him. He's either 2 steps behind, and now he's frustrated. So now he's, doing these desperate things like, I'm just going to push out the receiver 3 seconds before the ball even gets here. What do you expect? Once again, first down, Matt Ryan throwing, tackle, first down.
And yeah, there's Julio Jones just showing his unbelievable strength, making a guy miss and then just pushing our defender backwards until he got the first down. I mean, and again, that's Kareem Jackson blowing coverage, missing the tackle, and then looks like Justin Simmons getting pushed backwards by Jones. Falcons heating up, and Broncos are just unable to seem to find a way to hold them here.
Number 23 getting brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of about 3, bringing up 2nd and about 13. Fine, the run defense is doing okay, but you got Kareem Jackson and even I guess the whole Broncos backfield just not holding up whatsoever.
Yeah, Broncos secondary definitely having issues today. And again, wasn't unexpected, but not to this degree. And again, this is the issue you have when you dominate. And here's another big pass.
Well, once again, number
unbelievable. 26. And again, this is the issue you start to have when our offense can't maintain a drive. Our defense has been on the field for well over half of the first half. And, they're tired at this point. They're trying to keep up. And this is what you see when your offense has 6 minutes of time of possession in the first half. This is what you start to, what the end result is.
Number 26, I'm not even sure who that is, Culver or something, but you got to run up the middle for about 3 yards. So again, run defense holding their own, but looking to see who that was. Look, bottom line here is Broncos are not putting themselves in a good position in any way, shape, or form. I mean, you're looking at 17-3 right now going into halftime. Hopefully, best case scenario is 20-3. You're going to start the second half with the ball, but and maybe have about 2 minutes left on the clock if they get a touchdown here. But holy crap, this is just a bad situation. Here we go, 2nd and 10. Matt Ryan under center.
And won't get it off before the 2-minute warning.
Trying to draw the Broncos offside there, just not able to do it. So at least we have something good right there where we can at least avoid any other unnecessary penalties.
Yeah, definitely turned into a bad situation quickly for the Broncos here. Falcons are having all kinds of confidence right now. Big plays, causing missed tackles, stiff arming us all over the place. Their defense is having their way with our offense now. Pretty much anything that can be going wrong for the Broncos right now is going wrong. And if we allow them to get a touchdown here, we're at that point again down 21 points going into half, and that's not a recipe for success. We pulled it off last weekend with the Chargers, but to try to pull it off back-to-back weeks,
on the road this time,
absolutely. I mean, again, something has to give. Somebody has to step up.
Well, again, this is where you're like Justin Simmons, Kareem Jackson. You think they'd be the ones on lockdown, but they are pissing Kareem Jackson off. And he is falling for it.
Yeah.
He's either way behind or now he's drawing pass interference penalties.
Yeah.
And you're just letting us destroy ourselves at this point.
Yeah, Kareem Jackson's definitely not having a game here. He's getting burned in coverage a lot, and they're starting to pick on him a lot. And once we return from this 2-minute warning, it'll be 2nd and 7, well within the red zone, able to pick up a first down without having to get a touchdown. It's, again, not looking great for the Broncos right now.
They seem unmotivated to some degree. And this is where you were talking about Falcons coming up motivated after their last win. What do they have to lose? And here you go with the Broncos coming out, and they should have been just all sorts of fired up from last week. But they just don't seem to have any of that going for them. It's almost like, yeah, we're beat up, and so, okay.
Yep.
Well, we're here, I guess. We made it on the plane, and they drove us here, and
right.
Put on the jersey. Now what?
Yeah, it's almost like they're comfortable using the injury bug as an excuse of not doing well, instead of refusing to allow excuses to determine the outcome. And so here we go. Big couple plays here with the Falcons. Looks like an empty backfield, 2nd and 7.
Definitely expecting them to aim for the end zone there. Malik Reed getting in the center. Good. There's flag. Ojemudio drawing a pass interference, giving them 1st and 10 or 1st and goal from about the 8-yard line or so.
Yeah, I'd like to see a replay of this one. Ojemudio is incensed right now, and honestly, I might be.
I didn't think
they are talking about it. I don't think that's a good flag here. I'd like to see a replay. They do call it pass interference on him, but I would like to see a replay because I'm not sure how that could be any better defended. Looks like T-Cam in front of him. Let's see here. Pass got off and might have been tipped too. So
by a fingertip.
And so here, if it was tipped, it should not be pass interference.
There was some push in the back.
He did push him in the back, but so here's the thing: if the ball is tipped, pass interference cannot be called. That is the rule, and so they are reviewing it because if that ball's tipped, you're right. There was a push in the back, and so if that ball's not tipped, that should be pass interference. However, if it was tipped, then that should not be pass interference and should be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, so that's going to be a huge break for the Broncos. But from the video we saw, I mean, it's obvious that the ball was, thrown perfectly, and then all of a sudden starts tumbling.
Right.
The only reason it happens is if it's tipped.
More times than not. Yeah, so they are reviewing it under 2 minutes. It is a booth review. So we'll see. But again, let's say this call does come back. It's still 3rd and 7, and the Falcons are 7 for 8 on 3rd downs. 3rd and 7 is not very long at this point for them.
At this point, any 3rd down is not long.
Well, it's just, and that's what I'm saying is so even if this is reversed, it's 3rd and 7, and we have to find a way to stop them on a 3rd down because so far this game, with the exception of one time, we have not been able to stop them. And I think most recently, I think they're 5 for 5 on the last 5 for 3rd down conversions here. So
Jared is going to be with you guys for the halftime hash show. We'll be back after halftime to close out the rest of the game there. Glad you're here with us, guys. If you haven't joined us before on anything, remember we have a ton of content for you guys from our post-game and pre-game podcast. Wagers. Ray will sit down with you and explain what bets he's taking for the upcoming Broncos game, which bets he's not. He is 19-8-3 on the season. He's been doing sports betting for a long time. He knows what he's talking about. He'll teach you a couple things along the way. So definitely is something you want to check out. That usually comes out Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. But of course, we got our live shows as well. Monday is Orange Tuesday After Dark, 9 p.m. Mountain Time. 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Bourbon Broncos No BS, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And we also got our pre-game show and our halftime hash show. About once a month, once every few weeks. David and I are here to call the game. Today I'm joined by Jason as we broadcast this game live to the best of our ability. So glad you're all here with us. Remember to check out all of our other content throughout the rest of the season, really. Now, win, lose, or tie, we're here. All mottos, fans, brews, and Broncos news, and we're not going away.
So Here we go. We should be getting a call here. And
Yep.
they determined it was in fact tipped, and therefore the pass interference cannot be called, and therefore instead of 1st and 10, it will be 3rd and 7 at about the 10-yard line.
Looking to take a timeout. Looks like the Falcons are calling one. Maybe, maybe not. Can't tell. Well, look, if 95 there hadn't, if he was just a half an inch off, that ball would not have been tipped, and that would have been pass interference. So we got a huge lucky break there. Maybe that's what this defense needs. They needed a lucky break. Well, you know what? Here you go. Now, what are you going to do with it? With Matt Ryan in the backfield, Todd Gurley on his right-hand side, looking to throw probably just for the end zone. Malik Reed coming off the right-hand side, trying to get some sack there by number 93. Holy crap, coming out of nowhere there. Jones is this is what I'm talking about. You get that advantage. You got to make something of it.
Absolutely, and that is a big play. You know, the clock's still running. I'm not sure why we haven't called a timeout yet. We need points before the half, and if we let the clock run all the way down to 1 minute, which it looks like we did find to call a timeout.
Resetting the game clock, so we did call a timeout earlier.
Timeout, good to see. So we'll have about 1:48 right now. So we'll get the ball with roughly 1:40 left in the first half. And, you know, assuming this kick goes in, it would be great to see a block. But if this field goal is good, it'll be 20-3, down 17 points.
That sounds familiar.
It sounds way too familiar. So you'll have, you know, again, a little more than a minute and a half to go. We need points on the board before the half here. So obviously a touchdown would be huge, but even if we're able to even 3 points on the field, 3 more points going into half, and the kick is good. So yeah, 20-3. We need points before half is what it comes down to.
Yeah, and by points we mean touchdown, because 6-20 would be okay, but you get the ball after halftime, okay. But at this point, again, just go out there, relax.
Absolutely.
You know, don't worry about the score so much. It's just, you know, cut into the lead by a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is, again, less than ideal. Not the place you want to be for the Broncos. And what you would really hate to see is another 3-and-out here, because the Falcons still have all of their timeouts too. So if we have another quick exit, that'll leave the Falcons with about a minute with 3 timeouts, put more points on the board. So not only do we need points, but at the very minimum, we need to at least get some point, long drive if nothing else. And so again, 1:44 left here for the kickoff. We'll have roughly 1:40 left to hopefully drive down the field, down to 1 timeout for the Broncos here. Again, Falcons all 3 timeouts, so can't afford a 3-and-out is what I'm getting at. Now gives them another chance to stack them even more. So you got to be smart while trying to be aggressive, and it'll be interesting to see how they call the plays here. And we'll see if this is game going to be returnable. And
run up to the right-hand side, trying to get some blocks, trying to get around them, but gets to about the 33-yard line, taking about 10 seconds off the clock there, maybe a little bit more. This is where, look, you want to go back to that first quarter, the beginning of that first quarter, and take that timeout back.
Oh, absolutely.
This is exactly where it's like, why are we calling a timeout right off the bat? Because this is you're trying to get something going here. And while that was a fairly decent return, you got 1:35. So, you know, trying to throw to the sidelines there, you can't really take any open field catches. We'll see what they do. We got Melvin Gordon out there to the left. Drew Lock throwing in the center there. Caught. But now we got 1:30 left, taking it to about the 40-yard line or so.
And no sense of urgency there. I'm not sure, again, why clock's running, got 1 timeout. And
at this point, you should have 5 or 6 plays just already called.
Just no sense of urgency here. I mean, we've wasted
another 15,
20 seconds there between plays. And Locke just has to get rid of it with pressure. And yeah, lot of questionable things happening. And to go back to your point, again, I'd love to hear what the explanation is for that timeout way back in that first quarter when it's 4th and 6 and you're just punting the ball. There had to be something wrong, either too many men on the field or something. And it could cost us here 3rd and 4, minute 6 left. And again, you have to get a first down pickup here.
At this point, 106 left. Let's see what they do. Good pocket. Again, running up the middle, though. KJ Hamler getting to about the 49-yard line, and the clock keeps ticking. This is where they practice those 2-minute drills, though. You have 5 or 6 calls, and you just say 2-minute drill alpha or something, and you know what those plays are. KJ Hamler dropped the ball, getting hit pretty hard. Looking like he's a little slow to get up there, but 44 seconds left. But like you said, there was no urgency. Why are we wasting 20 seconds off the clock trying to make sure everyone's on the same page? That should be done at practice way earlier in the season.
Yeah, and that ball hit Hamler straight in the hands. That's a dropped pass. Took his eyes off the ball there. Drew Lock asking for a penalty for some head-to-head contact, but that ball should have been caught. I mean, that was straight to the hands of Hamler. That should be another 20-yard pickup. Instead of 2nd and 10, and we're still far from field goal range right now.
You need about 20 yards to really be in reasonable field goal range, but here we go. Drew Lock handing the ball off to Gordon, who's trying to get the outside, but stopped after about 2 yards, bringing up 3rd and 9 with the clock running. And at this point, it looks like the Broncos are taking their last timeout to stop the clock there. You know, look, you got one play to try and get a first down. You might. This is where you can't even go for a field goal, because if you miss, then they get the ball at the 50-yard line.
Oh yeah, we're
3 timeouts left.
Yeah, we're field goal range is out of question right now. I mean, this would be close to a 70-yard field goal right now. So yeah, you got another time you have to pick up that first down. Again, the Falcons have 3 timeouts right now. So if you don't pick up this first down, that leaves 40 seconds left with Matt Ryan and the way they're picking apart Kareem Jackson. That is more than enough time with 3 timeouts to go down the field and get in field goal range on their end. So another big play coming up where we have to get a first down, not just to get close to field goal range ourselves, but to keep the Falcons off the field for a bit longer and try to head into the half at least down no worse than 20-3.
This is tough. It's tough to see this offense do so well in the fourth quarter last week, and just come out so slow. You know, we talked about in the pregame. This is a game where we need the offense to carry the team, and they know that. There's no doubt they know that. But the offense, there's no fire in them. It's like they lost last week. You know, after going down 21 points, they lost.
No,
but
and again, it's an issue with consistency, right? I mean, each drive, it seems like we've had at least one big play. Even a couple big plays, and then they just go cold. And you got to string these drives together. You can't just have one big play and go, okay, good job, we did our part. Now let's just see what happens. The potential's there. You're finding these big plays, but you have to be consistent with it. So we'll see again. Here we're coming up on a 3rd down, 3rd and 9 with 38 seconds. It looks like.
Yeah, you need reasonably 15 yards. McManus might be able to make it from a 50-plus yarder. Obviously, you'd like to expect that, but here you go, Drew Lock jumping it off, incomplete pass, and now you're not even talking about being in field goal range. You're talking about punting it from your own 48-yard line, because the Falcons have 3 timeouts left, and you got Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
that's just
again, poor pass protection there. Drew Lock under very big pressure there, had to get rid of it. That time, that one wasn't on him. He had to get rid of the ball or take a sack there. Right. But man, this offense is just absolutely non-existent again today, at least through the first half.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a lot tougher to come back against this Falcons team than it was against the Chargers last week.
Looks like we could pin them pretty, not too deep at their 18-yard line, 26 seconds. Now, you could expect them just to take the knee, but also with Matt Ryan and them being 2-6, why not lob one down the field and see what happens?
Yeah, at this point, I would expect them to take a knee. Why risk a pick 6, right? You've actually dominated this first half. Everything's gone right for you. You're up 20-3. Just take the knee, get in a half. I'd be surprised if they try to force something because, again, you don't want to. And there you go. They take a knee. Yeah. So.
And Carlos, we did talk about this, but Jared is going to join us here for the halftime hash. Jared, how you doing, man? Can't hear you.
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Good, man. Good. Hey, we're going to hand this over to you for the halftime hash, and answer some of those questions, man.
Yeah, nope, sounds good. I'm here for some questions. If anybody has any questions while those guys take a break, please post them in here, and I will talk about them. For me, the biggest thing so far in this game that I'm tracking is that our offense still can't get anything going. I think the biggest piece of this for me is that we have some big plays that we're getting down there, but we just can't be consistent with them. Our run game just is not there. We can't get anything on the run game, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, we're seeing some issues with our injuries on defense. Basically, we have no original starters other than Kareem Jackson and Justin Simmons out there who are playing okay, but our corners are getting beat pretty heavily. Devontae Harris is having a very, very tough game, but it's not just them. I think the biggest part of this is that pass rush. We're missing a lot of our big guys, with Shelby Harris being one of our main defensive linemen there, not being able to get in the back. Melvin Agim is doing okay. Malik Reed's doing okay, but a lot of the stuff that we're seeing right now that is coming in, we're just not getting the pressure on Matt Ryan. He has all day to throw. He's rolling out of the pocket when there's nobody chasing him, and it's getting absolutely ridiculous. The big play over the middle, I will say that Devontae Harris, that was him. He got beat pretty hard over the middle, and that's just what that is. He tried to make up for it, ended up getting a pass interference. The guy still caught it. There's nothing we could do about that. On the other end, when he got beat again, that was a blown up play. It was supposed to be an out. He jumped the out route, which made him get to the out, made Matt Ryan have to roll out to be able to see the field. He jumped the out route, which was good because he couldn't get rid of the ball. Unfortunately, Matt Ryan wasn't being chased fast enough. The guy went upfield. He got to make the play. Matt Ryan is playing an amazing game right now. He's finding absolutely every break that he finds, he's taking, and they're finding wide open people absolutely everywhere over the field, and it is tough for our defense to keep up with that. Obviously, our wide receiver core is doing okay. It looks like we tried to get to KJ Hamler a few times. Noah Fant had the big run up the sideline. Hasn't gotten a catch yet. I do know he is back in the game, but he has an ankle issue. Let's get to some questions here. How do you feel about not making positive plays on first down? That's a big part of it. I think another one issue that we've been having is our first downs. We put ourselves into third and longs way too often, and we just do not have the play calls to make up for 3rd and 15 every single drive. So I do agree. I think we're not making up for positive plays. We're not making enough positive plays on first down. We are trying to establish the run. Their run defense is doing pretty well. We need to get more creative in our runs. I think we're trying too much of a big on big type, and I think we need to go more into a zone running scheme. I agree with you, Gerald. Hey, he did it once against a team that's notorious for losing leads. He could do it again against another team that is absolutely notorious for losing leads. So let's do this. Drew, come back. I think he needs to play much better. All right, our defense isn't doing well because our O-line is missing blocks and assignments. Do you think we can do to adjust? Okay, so like I said, the first one, missing blocks and assignments on our O-line. Yes, they're also bringing a little bit of pressure. I think some of the assignments is something that they can coach up at halftime. These are blitz packages they probably haven't seen before, or I'd like to hope these are blitz packages that we haven't seen before. Obviously, having Schlottman starting isn't our original lineup, but we do have Dodson back, and I think it's going to make it up. I think these are halftime adjustments that we can make. So that was a good question. As far as adjustments, what we can do to adjust, it's just going to be at halftime. Looking at the blitz packages that we saw in the first half, looking at the film, and seeing what we can do to stop it. Also, until we can establish the run, it's going to be very difficult to establish a pass against the rushers that they're sending. We can win this, absolutely. Let's see. Jerry Jeudy needs to be more involved in slant plays. I agree. So when he was in Alabama, he played a lot in the slot. I was hoping with the emergence of Tim Patrick coming back, and once, obviously, I'm looking ahead, further on till next year when Cortland Sutton does eventually come back. I want to see more Jerry Jeudy in the slot and over the middle stuff. I think that he's very dangerous when he gets the ball. when he gets the ball into open field. And I think in the middle of the field right now and on the corner routes, that is really where we're going to be able to get him the ball in open field to be able to make those plays. I do want to see more of Judy. I think the one-on-one play that he tried to throw when he got blitzed was actually a very good toss. Obviously, it's a 50-50 ball. Nobody came up with it, but I think I want to see more of those. I want to see more of targeting Judy when he's on one-on-one with no safety help, and I think that's something that we can take advantage of. Because right now, for me, the biggest thing is we're not taking advantage of what we do have. We had a big play on one drive with Noah Fant up the sideline. We had another couple big plays over the middle where we got down to the 10-yard line and then just couldn't punch it in. I don't think that's something that we can do, right? We can't kick all field goals and win a game like we did against New England. Obviously, Atlanta's already up. Their offense is just tearing apart our defense that we're going to have to make some halftime adjustments, which I do feel comfortable we are stopping the run decently. There's a couple been 9-10 yard running plays, but for the most part we're stopping them pretty well on the run, which I think is a good thing because they can't establish the run. They have to go over the air. Unfortunately, they're going over the air on a very depleted secondary right now. Devontae Harris has to have a better second half than he has in the beginning. Like I said, one of them definitely his fault, the other one kind of a broken play. It's hard to cover somebody for longer than 5 or 6 seconds. I do think that this game is not over. For anybody who thinks that this game is over, we've seen way too many leads like this get blown by Atlanta. We've seen us come back from too many leads. Let's go in. Let's make some halftime adjustments. What I do want to see, though, and I've been really interested in watching Drew Lock this season just because of what I saw from last season. He's starting to regress a little bit in the first half of last game, first half of this game, in his footwork. He's rolling out of the pocket. He's not stepping into the pocket. He's rolling into the blitz. He's not really seeing that. And I think obviously that's going to come a little bit more when that comes down. I do want to give a shout out. So Carlos gives a shout out here to Kareem Jackson. For coming downhill constantly. And he's always been a very good in the run stop and the short outs, the short dink and dunks. He's been very good. The other one I want to shout out to is not playing great in the secondary, but as far as run stop, Bosby has been playing amazing. Bassey. Bosby got rid of Bosby. Bassey has been playing amazing coming down and getting guys in the second in the backfield, and I think that's really helping out with those corner blitzes coming off of the slot. Yes, secondary is getting burned. I've mentioned that. Zach, I agree with you. It's really difficult to watch this because obviously we're without two of our starting corners. I do think Michael Ojemudia is actually having a very good game. He's not one of the ones that they're picking on. They're picking on Devontae Harris, and Bassey's been picked on once or twice. Again, young team. Devontae Harris should know better, and these are things that, again, like I'm just hoping that he has a better half coming back. Fant is okay. I saw him coming out. I know he limped off with his ankle injury, but I saw him come back into the game. I don't think he's gotten a ball since that first one. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but I did see him come back into the game. So I think he's okay. Hopefully at halftime they can retape it and make sure that he's good to go for the rest of the game. Yes, Atlanta is very underrated. No, I agree. I mean, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are two future Hall of Famers. They were showing. I don't know. I didn't know this until they were showing the on the news or on the show. They were showing the article that said that most of their offense is all first rounders. And that is absolutely ridiculous. They have so many first rounders on their team. Obviously, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, very underrated players, and they're going to be future Hall of Famers. And Matt Ryan is looking like Matt Ryan of old. He's not looking like Matt Ryan from the beginning of the season. He's looking like Matt Ryan from 2016, which is a little bit scary. Yes, we miss Purcell in the middle. I think that's one of our biggest issues. I know, obviously, our secondary, both of you guys, Carlos and Gerald, good call. Both those guys are huge players in our pass rush. Not only our run defense, but our pass rush. Like I said, our run defense is doing okay, but they are underrated as big guys in the middle to fill holes and mandate double teams in the middle to be able to open up guys one-on-one on the outside, and we are missing them heavily. I think two of the big plays that they've had for Atlanta was just he had way too much time back there. Matt Ryan had way too much time in the backfield, and that's something that we're going to have to stop. We're going to have to start getting to him, but we do. We miss Purcell, we miss Shelby in the middle. I definitely agree with you guys there. Okay, you're right. I'll give you that. Matt Ryan has been. I mean, I think he's breaking records, isn't he, this year? You're right. He's been looking very good. I think last year was his rough year, but yeah, their defense has been trash. Too bad we can't take advantage of that right now. But hopefully in the second half, we can slow them down, take advantage of what we have and what they don't have, and start getting the ball to some of our playmakers on the outside. Their weakness, and we mentioned this on the pregame podcast, and I mentioned on Ragers as well, their weakness is on the outside in their corners, just like ours is in our corners. And for some reason, we just cannot take advantage of that. We have not been trying to take advantage of that in the first half. So I would not be surprised to see Drew Lock come out here slinging the ball a little bit more to be able to get that taken care of. Yeah, Jose. So, and this is another thing we got to say. Look, this is another one. At the beginning of the year, if you said we had all these injuries and stuff, that we would be even close to talking about going 500, I would say no. But I think right now our team is rallying. We've been doing a pretty good job of rallying overall, and that's where we're at. So we just got to go with these young guys. Our offense is so young, and you saw it. And I think another thing I want to mention too, you saw it towards the end of the half with the lack of urgency going in at halftime. They didn't have a lot of time on their hands, and they were going in slow. They had no sense of urgency after they get a pass over the middle. They weren't putting the ball down. Tim Patrick wasn't, he's been there for a couple of years, but still, like, this young team doesn't have that sense of urgency, and you see it. But I think that's where that's coming from. But we are on our way to winning as long as we keep getting these young guys time. I'm going to say no. I don't think Rippon is better than Locke. I think Locke's our guy. I think Rippon's a good backup, and he did okay as a backup, but I think Locke's our guy. He just needs to set his feet a little bit more and step into the pocket as opposed to immediately trying to roll out. We do have to try to balance with the run. I think the run is what's getting us into long, third and longs right now. Some of our passing plays, the sack that we took, the guy running through Philip Lindsay, which is sad to see, but again, the guy outweighs Lindsay by 110%. So that was a little rough to see, but I think these third and longs are a lot of, we need to get forward on the runs and maybe get a little bit more creative on how we're going to set up the runs. I did like the end around that we gave to Hamler that one time. He got, I think, 15 yards. That was a really good play. I'd like to see a few more of those or some sort of screen plays because they're being very, very aggressive over the middle. Yeah, so I think we're going to see a difference in that in the second half, and that was something that we saw last week too. He's throwing very short routes. He's being very, very careful. He's been getting a lot of flack from everybody in the media about his interceptions and how much he's throwing interceptions. So I think he's being very cognizant of that, and he's trying to play very safe. But I think, unfortunately, when we put ourselves in the 3rd and 15, we can't keep playing safe like that. And Atlanta has a very good defense for it. They're keeping everybody on the first down and coming downhill if it's thrown short, and it's working out for them so far. So that's why we're throwing the short stuff. I do think in the second half, you are going to see a lot more deep balls coming from Drew Lock, at least more stuff over the middle and outside, more than 5 yards. Lindsay and Gordon do need to get the run going. I think they started giving the ball to Gordon a little bit more than Lindsay towards the end of the first half, which I'm not a huge fan of. I do think Lindsay has more capability to break off something big than Gordon does. Gordon does have the ability to pass block, which is something that I think we might be seeing more Gordon in there just because of that. Now that we're down, we're going to have to pass a lot more than what we were expecting. But I do want to see another Lindsay breakout. I mean, last week against the Chargers, one of our biggest plays that really brought us back in the game, that brought us that momentum, was that long Lindsay run for a touchdown, and that really brought us back into the game. And I want to see another one of those. I'd really like to see that. Lindsay has the heart of gold, and I think he's going to be the guy that's going to rally this team around. Let's see what other questions. The throwaway from Lockstead trying to force something that's not there. I agree. I think that's something that he's learned over the past 4 or 5 games because it used to. You're right. He used to try to force something and he's starting to throw the ball away. I like the one where he was falling down because he was tripped and he still got the ball out of bounds. That was lucky, and he did a very good job with that. More bubble screens, something that involves speed. I agree. We need to get, and this goes back to what Coach Fangio has been saying. Coach Fangio and Coach Gangarello have been saying all season, at least for the last 3 weeks. We really, not Scangrel, Coach Shermer. Wow, what am I thinking? Coach Shermer has been saying this whole time, we really need to get the ball to our playmakers, and I think the bubble screens are a good way to do that. And we need to open up with deep routes, which I think we're going to see in the second half. I think that's going to happen, and we'll see. Hey guys, you guys are back? I see. How was your break?
Good. I got some more fancy beer.
So because of how the game was going, I was drinking coffee, but I think I'm switching it up a little bit.
We're already there, so we'll see, man. But appreciate
Straight
you doing
to the hard
that.
stuff. Yeah,
Appreciate
no,
you
of
giving
course.
us a
Hey
break.
guys, good job on the play call so far, and let's go out there and have a good second half, and hopefully have another comeback, huh?
Here's hoping, man. Here's hoping.
All right, I'm gonna log off. Hey, good luck, guys. Good luck, Broncos country, and go Broncos.
Go Broncos. Take care, Jared. Okay, we are back for the second half, and hopefully it's a different story. But Broncos did return it, did not get very far. But looking at 1st and 10, down 20-3, and I think we covered the first half pretty well. Jared said a lot of good things over half as well. So glad you're all with us. We're going to be here till the very end, one way or another. So this is where we need to come out and start looking strong, man.
Over 20 minutes out of possession to our line. So obviously things that need to change. Great start. Jerry Jeudy drops the ball. We'll see if that was a catch and fumble, which I think they'll call. It looks like they're going to call it a catch and a fumble out of bounds. So we will pick up that yardage. That's an issue that Jeudy has had already. Throughout his college career and really NFL, is having a hard time hanging on to this ball. Great route run and great reception, and then just let it get punched out. I mean, you got to have better ball control. Wrap up there. You're about to get tackled, but fortunately, they'll call it a catch and fumble, and 1st and 10 for the Broncos.
Here we go. Handoff to Philip Lindsay up the middle, getting maybe 4 yards there. But look, this is what we need to do. Take some time off the clock. Be methodical. Don't rush so that the defense has to go back out there. Give them time to recover and rest. And, if you were in the Broncos halftime or locker room at halftime, what would you say?
Fix it. Everything needs to be fixed. Every facet of the game was just off, and Drew Lock with some play action here, and he'll throw it, and there is a flag.
Pass interference flag, I'm guessing.
There's 2
flags. Well, I don't like 2 flags. One usually means it's going in our favor, but 2 there, I'm not too sure. Thank you very much. So we are at Colorado Cork and Keg in Castle Rock, Colorado, and I tell you what, they have some fantastic drinks and some fantastic food. So we're going to be eating during the second half because we need some. But looks like we do have pass interference on Atlanta, which is going to help us out quite a bit there, moving the ball down the field. So we'll see, man. But you're right. I think the message at halftime is fix it. Stop doing what we're doing and do it all differently.
Absolutely.
Do it better.
Yeah, I mean, again, every facet of the game, defensively, offensively, even some special team screw-ups, as we mentioned. I'll call them that timeout. Drew Lock in shotgun formation with Philip Lindsay to his left here. Audible being called. Broncos at the 40-yard line. Hand it off to Lindsay, who will pick up a good gain. Looks like 6, maybe 7, and that's what we need more of. And that's what you can expect when you start letting Lindsay get into the game. Is those solid yardage pickups. That's what he's been showing since he's come back from that injury, and not a bad game so far for him. I just would like to see him in there a little bit more than we've seen him. Hopefully that's something that continues. So here we are, already at the Falcons' 35-yard line. Can they string things together enough to get into the red zone?
Best drive we've had all game, if you ask me. I'd say keep the ball on the ground, get Philip Lindsay going. He gets about a yard there, so bring up 3rd and short. That's okay as long as you can keep the ball moving, right? Because what we're talking about is we don't need to hurry up at this point. We just need to slowly eat into that lead, get 1 touchdown, and then go from there. Get our defense to step up. Kareem Jackson especially needs to figure out what his problem was in the first half. They've looked at some pictures, they've talked about it, and hopefully they've made some good adjustments there. But with this 3rd and 4 here, definitely some big news. You got Melvin Gorin open, but he also goes to Tim Patrick, number 81 there for the first down. That's exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, that was pretty big there. Big first down conversion. That was only our second 3rd down conversion of the game. Some good misdirection. Locke finding the open Tim Patrick, who was able to get that first down yardage needed. Like to see that. Got only about 3 minutes have been taken off the clock here. Good ball movement. Close to the red zone. We're at the Falcons' 25-yard line. Drew Lock getting it with Melvin Gordon out to his side. He'll take a shot at the end zone. And Tim Patrick can't quite reel it in. And
it looked like he was holding his arm back.
Yeah, probably not. Again, I'm okay with that no call. Tim Patrick's going to argue it. We'll get a replay here. I like that shot, though. It was a good pass by Drew Lock. Tim Patrick had a chance, and
Nope.
yeah, that was, again, a good no call.
That hurts, though.
Yeah,
Again, Drew Lock couldn't have done anything better.
Yeah, perfect pass.
And it's not even worth challenging, like at this point, it's 2nd and 10. Just go for it, Keep the chains moving.
Absolutely. Drew Lock back again. Hands it off to Melvin Gordon, who will pick up a few yards, trying to make it a bit more manageable on 3rd down. So here we are. We're in the red zone here. 3rd down.
Wait,
we're
what?
down. We're down 17 points. 3rd and 7. You don't pick up the 1st down. I say you have to go for it on 4th down. You can't keep settling for field goals when you're down 17. You have.
No.
So we're in 4-down territory here. I mean, I'm okay with a run play here, assuming you're going to go for it on 4th down. But they need to make that decision now. If you know you're going to go for it on 4th down, then you can make that play call on 3rd down.
Yep, just got to get something here. If you get to 4th and 1, 4th and 2, yeah, 100%. But you got to get something going here. Jared Judy out to motion to the right, looking to throw, pressure coming, and he dumps it off, unable to get that 1st down. And yeah, look, at this point, I don't like it, but obviously they're going to settle for the field goal. But 20-6 is not going to do anything for you versus 20-10.
No, exactly. And again,
you're wasting a whole drive with maybe 3 drives left in the game.
Our offensive line have had struggles this game, both creating openings for the run game, but also giving adequate pass protection time. There you see they bring in 4 and unable to protect Drew Lock. And yeah, here we go with a field goal attempt. McManus, 1 for 1 for the day, made it from 43. This one will be a 41-yard attempt. Ball up, kicks down the middle, and has the distance and then some. So, I mean, here's the thing: field goals aren't ideal, obviously, but at least, if nothing else, that does turn it into a 2-possession game, down 14. And I get that it's early in the 3rd quarter. You get the points now, I guess, to turn into a 14-point game, a two-possession game, hoping that whatever adjustments you're making at halftime on your defense side is enough to hold the Falcons to no more points, allowing the offense to keep having those type of drives. But again, it's a red zone woes coming back. You have a decent drive going, you take a shot at the end zone, and then pass protection breaks down. You can't find a way to string it all together. And at the end of the day, again, death by field goals.
Yeah. And you're talking about inches. In this case, it was just needing to get the 1st down, right? And I tell you what, it's going to come down to our defense. I get that they're beat up. I get they're missing Shelby Harris and AJ Bowie and Callahan, right? Like that sucks. But we need to find players that'll step up. We need a turnover at some point. We need to get something going defensively that'll change the momentum going in our favor. And that was a pretty decent drive by the Broncos, the first good one really all game. Obviously, we would like to see that a lot sooner. But at this point, I mean, what are we going to do? Are we going to keep this up, or is our defense going to go out there and continue to just let themselves get beat by those 5, 6, 7, 8 yard plays over and over again?
Yeah, that absolutely. And so again, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made at halftime. They have to find a way to give Kareem Jackson some support, because again, he had a first half to forget, that's for sure. And they're going to keep targeting him now. So we'll see if hopefully they made some adjustments. That is the one thing. Fangio is a defensive mastermind, and if there's anyone who can make defensive adjustments, it is him. So we'll see what they do here. But yeah, it obviously doesn't matter how well our offense starts doing at this point. If our defense can't slow down Matt Ryan and their offense, it's going to be game over pretty soon here. So our defense needs to step up. They've had some rest between halftime, decent drive here. So hopefully they're rested enough to get a strong first stop here for the second half against the Falcons here.
And it's one of those things where I'd like to see them just blitz, but when you got Matt Ryan back there in the offensive line playing like they are for the Falcons, it's not really too much of an option, right? You got to find a way to cover those guys down the field, because even if he gets, I don't know, a full second in the pocket, that's enough time for him to make something happen, right? And yeah, you might get a couple sacks here and there, but the odds of you giving up a bigger play is something that I'd be worried about personally. But with 11:02 left in the third, definitely going to see what these guys can do as McManus kicks it off down the field, looking for the touchback there. And the Matt Ryan and company will come back out to get their first drive of the second half.
Absolutely. So we'll see what they continue to do. Again, I expect them to continue to pick on Kareem Jackson, but I expect them to try to really establish their run game a bit better. The more time they can take out the clock now, the more benefit to them, obviously, as well. So expect to see Gurley a little bit more here this first drive. And I would expect to see, again, no specific receiver because they're all doing a great job against our Broncos secondary so far.
Well, I think that's a thing for Matt Ryan as he's under center with two backs behind him and looks to the handoff, fake handoff. Wow, opening up with a big pass that's wide open and intercepted by Justin Simmons. That is huge. Exactly what we're talking about. Make Matt Ryan think about, testing us down the field there. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was an interesting play call, to be honest, to kind of start the first half. You're up 14 points. You've had success with these short gains, and instead you go for a long ball. And he was open. It was not a great pass. It was great recovery by Simmons to get over there. Yeah. It was a phenomenal safety play by Simmons because Matt Ryan did have his guy open, just overthrew him enough for Simmons to come over, make that recovery, and pick off that ball. So a huge play on defense. It's exactly what they needed. Both. I mean, it was a one-play drive there. So, again, gives them a little bit more time to rest up, gets their offense right back on the field. Hopefully, it will start wearing out the Falcons' defense a little bit. But, again, here's where it's a matter of can you make them pay? Can you take advantage? Right. Your defense came up with a big play. Can you now take advantage of that with decent field position to start? Can you go down and, again, down 14 points? Field goal does nothing. You need to find a way to get into that end zone now.
Well, yeah, if I'm the Broncos, I come back and I try to strike big. Maybe not obviously a 50-yard pass, but let's do a little bit more. Obviously, the defense came out and made a huge stop, so let's keep the momentum going in our favor. Getting these 2-3 yards runs isn't going to be enough. We got to move first down, get some big chunk plays in there. And that's really what it's going to come down to is one, can we make them pay for that so that they end up regretting it and maybe double, second guessing themselves later in the game when they have to make a play call. But when you're looking to your offense to make something happen, like this is the perfect opportunity. You can't ask for a better one. You got a one-play drive from the Falcons, and so what are you going to do?
Absolutely, and like you say, that play right there will make the Falcons rethink going for those deep shots now, which is great. But again, if you don't take advantage of this right now, it doesn't matter because then it's just more time off the clock, same position. And now they're going to be smarter with the ball and, again, open up their run game. So, again, really interesting play call for the Falcons. I don't quite understand it. I'm not complaining about it. Just find it interesting when you're controlling a game to that degree. Why don't you just take off more time off the clock instead of trying for a home run pass right off the bat? But either way, Justin Simmons, again, with a great play to recover with a not great pass from Matt Ryan. And, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if our offense is able to take advantage of this.
So what I fully imagine happened is somebody texted Justin Simmons at halftime and said, those Orange Weekly guys, they're not very happy with how you played in the first half. And he said, oh, crap, then that means I got to go out there and do that or something like that.
I'm sure that's exactly what happens.
They follow us. They care what we say. Maybe not, but you never know. So, here we go. Drew Lock back on the field, looking to pass on the first play, stepping up into the pocket.
Oh, my gosh.
Just absolutely nothing there.
They're saying that's a live ball.
That was a forward pass.
I don't know. That might have been knocked either. They're going to have to look at this, but
the way the ball was moving, I'd imagine that ball was moving forward. Yeah, they're going to look at it, but I can't see. God, I hope I'm right.
Yeah, I'd like to see your replay. That's for sure. Here we go.
Waiting for the ball to
pressure.
Go back. Yeah,
that should be an incomplete pass.
Much better than a fumble.
Yeah, it was a forward pass. It was a bad forward pass, but it was a forward pass nonetheless.
I'll take it at this point.
He had control of the ball all the way through that passing motion. That should be ruled an incomplete pass. But again, terrible pass protection. I mean, our offensive line is struggling today. I mean, they're struggling in the run game. They're obviously struggling in the pass game. It's going to be very challenging to come back against the Falcons here if our offensive line continues to perform the way they have been too. I mean, we haven't talked too much about them yet, but no real penalties on them so far, but they are Our offensive line is not having a game to remember either.
Yeah, man. Obviously, the refs made a bad call there. I fully expect them to come back and return it, but for that offense, yeah, I mean that's how you're going to come out and open your huge drive after the interception. And when it comes to Mike Munchak and his offensive line, this is not what you'd expect, especially coming out in the second half, right? I would expect them to make adjustments. Look, knock on wood, Garrett Bowles hasn't had a holding penalty this game again. But yeah, they're just, you look at the Falcons' offensive line and how good of a pocket they are giving Matt Ryan. They're giving him 1-2+ seconds over and over and over again, whereas Drew Lock is getting maybe 1 second. And so now you're throwing him off of his game, getting him rattled. And it's like, what are we doing? They're not even bringing the house. It's miscommunication, something, right?
Yeah, it's a bad situation when they're not blitzing and they're still getting that much pressure that quickly on your quarterback. And so offensive line definitely needs to step up. Again, when you're behind, you start obviously opening up the playbook for those longer pass plays. Well, if your offensive line can't give your quarterback enough time to allow the receivers to get downfield, right, it doesn't matter what you're calling because they're not going to be open yet. They're still running their routes. So again, this should, I would think, be called back. And I don't mind the rest letting that play out because you can always reverse it, right? I'd from a football standpoint, I'd rather them let that play out and then go back and reverse it versus the opposite situation where they blow it dead. And out it was a fumble and you killed the play. And so
yeah,
I think that's pretty standard. I expect this to be reversed. But yeah, our offense, that's not, again, not what you want to start out with your first play after a big play on your defense. And that's what we saw last week, the interception right away to start the game.
Yeah.
And we squandered that opportunity in a very quick fashion. And so our offense has a long ways to go of learning. And part of that learning process is how do you take advantage of the plays that your defense makes. And there you go. The call is officially overturned. It will be 2nd and 10 for the Broncos here.
Very lucky break. I mean, it's one of those things where yeah, Hamilton was the one trying to block on the right hand side there, but even then, right in the middle, we were not able to contain and give Drew Lock any sort of pocket for more than probably a second there. So with Melvin Gordon to the right of Drew Lock, who's in the backfield there, expected this team to get something going sooner rather than later. So I'm looking for a pass play here if it's me, and which it is. Over to Jerry Jeudy, who tries to make a move, which he normally does, but broke his own ankles there, unfortunately. So bringing up a 3rd and about 7. Yep, 3rd and 7.
Yeah, it's a bit rough too, because it would have been about a 3rd or 4, 3rd and 5, but because he tried to make that extra move and went backwards to make that move and fell down, he lost yardage on that play there. So pretty unfortunate to see that. But instead of a 3rd and 4, we're now looking at a 3rd and 7.
10:30 left in the third quarter. Broncos 2 for 7 on 3rd downs. Melvin Gordon out to the right, empty set, looking to give Drew Lock a little bit of a pocket as he rolls out to the right, and he rushes for about 4 yards, which will put him short by about 3 yards of that 1st down marker. So here you go. You got a big Matt Ryan interception, and you're not able to move the chains a single time.
Exactly. Quick 3 and out. And it looks like he had it looked like Gordon out to the right, wide open, and instead didn't see him try to run it and well short. That's our 2nd 3 and out today. And again, it's crushing to the defense. They had a rough first half, but they come out, finally make a big play, and the way the offense thanks them is a quick 3 and out. Here you guys go again. That's this offense has to find a way to convert on these opportunities they're given.
Falcons recover at their own 20-yard line with 9:28 left, and this is, is the problem so much the defense or the offense? And if I'm the Broncos and I'm the Broncos defense, I'm squarely looking at the offense saying, look, yeah, we're struggling, but you're not doing a single thing to help us out. We are out on the field 2/3 of the first half. We get you this interception, and you don't do a single thing with it. Yeah, they're all one team, and they're not fighting amongst each other, but it's got to be disheartening to some degree saying, we're doing our absolute best with these 3 big starters that we have out, and you can't even move the chains a single time after an interception. Like, what else do you want us to do?
Absolutely, it's a tough situation for sure. And again, you have the Falcons who were basically in the same situation we were earlier. Only 3 more minutes have fallen off the clock. Still down 14. Falcons had the ball about the same place they had it last time around. And we'll see how they play call differently here. Looks like Gurley's in the backfield. They're making an audible here. They're expecting to blitz, it looks like.
Probably handing it off to Todd Gurley right there up the middle, getting about 2 yards. So again, kind of controlling that run defense, but when you're in a 2nd and long, why not go for a long pass? Because even when it's 3rd and 8, I mean, you're getting good 3rd down conversion percentages. So while Falcons are 3-9 record at home this season, or 0-4 at home this season. I mean, the Broncos aren't doing too much better at home. I think they're 1 for 3 or 1 for 4 at home or something like that. But once again, you got Matt Ryan in an open. So he did move Todd Gurley off to his right-hand side in motion, but still expecting some sort of pass play here because why not? And that's exactly what you're seeing. We did get pressure, but we still allowed Todd Gurley to get about 7 yards there with a flag, so maybe some holding on the offensive line. We'll see. But again, you're letting, and that sucks when you do finally get to
that's
roughing the passer. You're kidding me.
That's a killer. And again, those are the mistakes you can't afford. When you're down trying to make a comeback, you can't afford to make those type of mistakes. Goes against Bradley Chubb, and here we're going to see a replay. Some of these calls can be suspect, so we'll see here. But
yeah,
that was a late hit. He came through well after the pass was given. That's just stupid, and that might be a bit of a sign of the frustration, but you can't afford those penalties. So that gives an extra 15 yards on top of that 6-yard gain that Gurley had and puts them at almost midfield.
Looks like they're handing off to Gurley up the middle for the first down. They're getting 4, maybe 5 yards with the extra push there. 2nd down and 5, right at about midfield. And I'm telling you what, if I'm this is what the defense looks when you're missing 3 big starters. Yeah, you can kind of contain the run game, but when they go to pass, you just cannot find a way to get you can't get it to Matt Ryan. And, even if you do, he's going to dump off the ball and get 7-8 yards on you. So it's just frustrating all the way around.
Absolutely. And again, with them starting to establish their run game, getting 5 yards per carry or so, it opens a play like that where they can do short dumps. A good defensive play there.
You're kidding me.
Might be a helmet-to-helmet call here on Johnson, who came through to make the tackle. We'll see if that's what's called or not. But the flag did come in right after the play. There's a lot of jawing. Jackson talking to the Falcons sideline, it looks like, and personal foul. Yes, it is against the Broncos. They will call it for helmet-to-helmet. I don't know. I get it. But Jalen Hurts dropped his helmet there. I get that Jackson led with his helmet and launched himself. But at the same time, Hurst did lower his shoulder to take the hit, and that's what led to that helmet-to-helmet.
Well, that's just football technique in general. When you're about to get hit, you lower your shoulder.
Well, for sure. And
so when you're looking at this, I get it's helmet-to-helmet, but at the same time, they're both just playing good football technique. Yeah. What are you supposed to do? Hold up? Oh, I'm just going to let you go. But here you go, Matt Ryan rolling out to the left with some pressure, but missed tackle, and he's going to rush for the first down and more. Sliding for about 11 yards.
So, again, that's about the 3rd big mistake on this drive alone. I mean, he had a free shot to Matt Ryan, and I don't know how he missed. But he got around his block, Matt Ryan, on his blind side, and he just straight up misses. Huge mistake there. That's about the 3rd big mistake. And now, just like that, the Falcons are on the Broncos' 24-yard line, 1st and 10.
We can see what Matt Ryan does under center. Todd Gurley in the backfield there. Looking for the snap, hand off the ball, run up the middle for about 3 yards. Again, our run defense is not doing too terrible.
Not terrible,
but now you're looking at these, and look, I can't even call the last one a mistake. This is where I get the league is really focused on avoiding those concussions. But when you got 2 players playing good football technique in general, like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, again, I get it, but it's a tough call, especially and the thing is, they're so inconsistent with those calls, right? I mean, they didn't call it last week or 2 weeks ago when Philip Lindsay got hit. We saw it earlier this game, and there's a wide open pass. Julio Jones, easy touchdown, easy drive. I mean, they marched right down the field with the help of a couple personal foul penalties, and it is now 26-6, pending a extra point. Will be 27-6, and man, OJ Mudia just got burned. I mean,
Well, like, you put up a rookie against Julio Jones. I mean, 9 out of 10 times he's going to get burned.
absolutely.
You know? And AJ, you're completely right. Look, Broncos have a history over the last however many years of, since Peyton Manning times anyway, of just struggling on that Eastern time zone, early games. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. For us, it's 11 a.m. Obviously, Central, it's 12. But, when it comes to these early games, they're on the road. I don't know what it is. And, I don't know if it's a cultural mentality at this point. It's, you don't see many teams struggling in the same area this many times over this many years. So,
yeah, it's definitely a lot of situations that are going wrong here today. Like you said, kind of the history of this time slot, especially on the East Coast, hasn't been friendly to the Broncos. But at the end of the day, again, that's just adding to the excuse pile, right? I mean, oh, we're injured, and some bad calls here and there, and different time zone. And at the end of the day, who cares? The score sheet doesn't care. There's not an asterisk next to the score sheet at the end of the game saying Falcons 50, Broncos 6. But hey, look at all the excuses the Broncos have, so we're going to award them with a win anyways, right? At the end of the day, stat sheet doesn't care. The record doesn't care. You got to find a way to win these games and at least be competitive in these games. And instead, you are once again now 21 points behind a team that is desperate for wins, just as the Broncos are.
That's the thing. They're just going out. They're just playing their game. They don't care. They're not letting themselves feel under pressure, and it shows.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of our injuries on defense, but we're allowing them to, and we're getting frustrated by it. Now we're taking stupid penalties. And I could go on and on about that helmet to helmet. If anything,
but again,
Jackson lowered his helmet first, and then the receiver lowered his helmet, so it should have been the other way. But I mean, that's just me. But either way, the stupid things over and over again, and now you're killing yourselves.
Well, and again, where did it start? Right, it started with a 3-and-out after an interception. Right, we go down, we get some points on the board. Our defense comes up with a huge play right away, and then we go with 3-and-out, and then that's what leads to this next drive. And so you go back and heck, even if our offense was able to at least move the chains a couple times in the last drive, who knows what the result is. But stupid mistakes on that last drive, I think largely from frustration, which I think stems from our offense going 3-and-out once again after a big play was made on defense. And, I think the frustration on this defense is really starting to show of them trying to carry the weight, and especially in a game where they finally, they need some help, and our offense isn't able to support them. And we'll see where this game goes from here, but I mean, this game is quickly getting out of hand with about 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
Falcons kick off, and you got, once again, 2-3 yards deep in the end zone. Why are we even returning this? I don't know. He does get out to the 35 with a possible block in the back, flag thrown there, which, if that's the case, once again, here you go. Yep. Holding offense, 10-yard penalty, put us to about the 19-yard line or so, it looks like. Yeah, look, at this point, if it's in the end zone, why are we returning those kicks? This is twice now where, you had one decent, okay-ish run back. The other two times you've had a couple penalties that thankfully offset, but you're not even going to really pass the 20-yard line. And so, I don't know, man.
Yeah, at this point, again, I think we're starting to see a little bit of people trying to be the heroes, right, and trying to force plays. And you just can't have that when you're trying to come back. You got to just know your role, know your assignment, play smart, sound football. And the past 4 minutes of football have not been smart football by any means.
Well, you go Drew Lock in the backfield on the Broncos 18-yard line, passing, throwing way past KJ Hamler, kind of hit him in his hands. But both players could have done just a little bit better there to catch that ball. It would have probably been a 3 or 4 yard gain because there was a defender just up the field from him.
Yeah, definitely throw him behind his receiver there. Would have been. It was a tough attempt to make that catch, having to reach behind him, and against the where his momentum was carrying him. So that's an easy reception that Drew Lock has to be able to throw that ball better.
Drew Lock in the backfield. Philip Lindsay off to his right-hand side. Looking to have 3 people go downfield, rolling off out to the right, looking for an open person, and then deciding to run it himself for about 3 yards till he goes out of bounds. So at what point do you say, okay, yeah, the coverage is maybe that good versus do you not trust yourself? Do you not trust your receivers? Yeah, he's rolling out of the pocket maybe just a little too early, and I have to go back and look, but that seems to be the case is, he's not staying in the pocket to let those plays develop. But at the same time, when you roll out and you have plenty of time, is there really nothing you can do other than get a 3 yard run yourself?
Yeah, it's tough to say for sure. And here we are, 3 and 6 with Gordon out. Drew Lock will take the ball, throws a pass, and will pick up the first down, and then a little bit more. Big first down gain there.
Oh, that hurts though.
We have an injured Bronco holding his knee and looking to be in a lot of pain.
Okuwebanam.
And he is hurting. He is in a lot of pain right now. I'd like to see a replay to see what happened, but he is hurting right now. He's in a lot of pain.
At this point, you got Noah Fant and Nick Vanette primarily. Jake Butt, he did get hurt again, I believe. We're looking to probably get rid of him before too long. But yeah, again, you see another rookie who's playing. He's getting there, and Albert Okuwebanam, and he just kind of, again, the injury bug. But I think it keeps going back to there's not. The offense maybe isn't gelling is maybe the right word. We have some really solid talent in terms of, rookies and second-year players and whatnot, and a lot of speed. But there's no trust between Drew Lock and the offensive line, especially this game. They just keep getting through no matter what happens. And so I kind of get it, but at the same time, you're not doing anything to help yourself.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of disconnects going on right now. Disconnects between the coaching staff and play calling and players, disconnect between some of the receivers and Drew Lock. And now again with these injuries, they don't help, and it's pretty tough. I think when you start the game out and nothing's working on offense, and when nothing's working on offense, you start trying to call in way too many different play calls instead of trying to get in rhythm in one area of the game. You start just kind of throwing things at the wall and see when it sticks. And right now, nothing's really sticking for the Broncos. And good first down pickup there on this last play, which unfortunately led to an injury. Waiting to see what comes out of that. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of frustration, a lot of disconnect on this offense. And you take away the one quarter from last week where they finally started to look good. Take away that fourth quarter where they got 3 touchdowns, and you can go back games before really seeing any kind of consistency or really anything that looks good out of that. So having some rough internet right now, so apologize for that. Hopefully that'll start to clear up for us. But Broncos back out on the field. Lock receives it, shotgun, heavy pressure, and we'll just get rid of it, which will lead to a 2nd and 10. It looks like we're going to go back to the injury, see if we can get a good replay.
Can't tell other than his knee just kind of went
and
backwards a little bit.
Yeah, I'd be concerned about his ACL there. A little bit of twist motion, but no real direct contact. We'll see. We'll try to get you an update as soon as we find out, but that's not a good-looking injury for him. And a flag was just thrown. The ref and Locke were talking, and the ref just tossed out a flag.
Oh, come on.
But I'm not
Don't tell me it's
they're going to call for an intentional grounding.
Oh.
So they talked about it and decided that it was an intentional grounding. Let's see here. I mean, he got flushed out of the. I don't know.
Melvin Gordon is right there and less than 10 yards away.
Well,
I mean, there was at least Melvin Gordon was right there. Yeah, I would be upset too if I was Vic Fangio.
yeah, I
One,
don't
and just
know.
how this entire game is going. Two, no, if you're talking about somebody being 15 plus yards away, no, Melvin Gordon is right there, and he is fully eligible receiver. There is no way you could call that. I'm sorry. That one I completely disagree with. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing there from that one replay, I know. But he was 10 yards, not even 10 yards down the field. So that's going to cause a Broncos offense a big, terrible, long day. But yeah, you're looking, Melvin Gordon is at the 30 and Drew Lock threw it at the 25 with Albert O walking off the field very gingerly. Not what you want to see.
Yeah, again, it's not a good look there. Again, we'll try to give you an update. But 2nd and 21, handed it to Melvin Gordon, who has a good run here. Will go out of bounds after a solid pickup, making the 3rd down a bit more manageable here. But yeah, adding another injury to this injured Broncos team, especially on an offense that's struggling. Man, we're finding a lot about our depth chart right now, that's for sure.
At this point, Vic Fangio just needs to suit up and go on out there because
needs somebody to.
I mean, at this point, let's see what Drew Lock can dial up on 3rd and 13. But again, we are 3 and 9 for 3rd down conversions, and it's just not where you want to be at all when you're trying to make some sort of comeback. Listen, 5 minutes left in the 3rd. Looking to pump fake down to the right-hand side. Noah Fant, and he's going to be about 10 yards short of the 1st down marker.
And again,
so.
I'm not sure why you're throwing for a 40-yard pass when it's 3rd and 13. We need to work on our 3rd down offense, that's for sure. And I don't know if it's an issue with play calling. I don't know if it's an issue with receivers getting open. I don't know if it's an issue of Locke just getting tunnel vision and dying into one receiver and not letting the play develop. But either way,
I think it's all of it. I think it's all of it.
I mean, it's multiple weeks now where you're 3rd and long, and that's part of the issue is you keep getting in 3rd and long situations. But once you're there, why are you only looking for a quick 2 or 3 yard pass and expecting something good come out of it? Clearly, it's not working. I mean, we're now 3 for 10 on 3rd down conversions today,
with an average of about 10 yards.
Right, and
so that tells you you're not even really doing well at all on 1st and 2nd down when your average 3rd down conversion yards is 10 or so yards. It means you're either getting yourself in really terrible situations on 1st and 2nd down, or you're just not moving the ball whatsoever. And that's exactly where these guys are right now. So time of possession is like 35 minutes, and we're only 45 minutes in, so that should tell you something. Falcons getting about 2, maybe 3 yards on a run to the left-hand side there, bringing it out to about the 21. I mean, again, the defense can only do so much, and even if they did, let's see. Looks like the Chiefs will pull ahead about 20-17 there against the Panthers, which is just funny how close that game is to begin with. But yeah, so I mean, again, you can only count on the defense so much, but I think it's a very simple story, Jason, with Matt Ryan in the backfield there. Looking to see what he dials up with a run up the middle, getting another 3 to 4 yards, bringing up 3rd and very manageable. But if you ask me, the story today is easy. It's the offense.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's, again, we were ranked 31st heading into this week on offense, and I think they've shown, if anything, they might even be 32nd after this week. I mean, this is just an anemic offense that can't get anything strung together. And I think part of the frustration is you see bits and pieces where it could be a dynamic offense. You know, you see
Yep.
these solid pickups, you see these great plays, and then you just see the next few plays are absolutely nothing. And compared to the Falcons' offense here, no, they're able to get third and short situations like this. Matt Ryan drops back and will throw big, and it is incomplete. So the Broncos will be getting the ball back here. But again, so okay, our defense was able to stop them again.
But
what will our offense be able to do? You know,
That's great, but
we're still down 21 with 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. You know,
he's lucky that wasn't a roughing the passer call.
Yeah, I agree.
Like in real time, that was half a second, but I've seen that get called very similarly where he's half a second after the ball's gone, and that's a flag. So we got lucky there. Falcons looking to punt. Let's see what we can do with this. Calling for the fair catch at about the 30-yard line or so, 31-yard line. So once again, defense did their part. Drew Lock will come out and see what we can do. But I think, you know, when it comes down to it, Drew Lock is just freaking out a little too much, not trusting his teammates to either, one, get open, two, trusting himself, three, trusting the offensive line to keep some sort of pocket for him. And to some regard, the offensive line, yeah, they're not doing their part, but he's exacerbating it by, you know, kind of what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a rough go for this offense for sure. And here we are, 6 points with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Drew Lock back in the shotgun formation. And again, pocket collapses and a terrible pass. Lindsey was open for a screen pass, but Lock, again, just looked like he panicked there. He panics and then just tried to dish it off, and it was really nowhere close to Lindsey, who at least would have been able to pick up a few yards with a screen pass. But again, Lock just seems very unsure about himself and very panicky, which are two terrible qualities for a quarterback to have. And so, 2nd and 10 now, still from the 30-yard line. And Locke will take it again, and it'll be a handoff to Lindsey, who will get a decent gain of about 5, making third down a bit more manageable. It won't be a third and long.
That defensive lineman, though, I thought Lindsey had a very decent hole. I think he did too, because he hit the gas, and that defensive lineman just moved over to his left 3 feet instantaneously and brought him down.
Yeah, close that gap very quickly. But again, already a third down situation. 3rd and 6, and I mean, we'll see what they dial up here. But here we go. Melvin Gordon's out. Drew Lock sends him in motion out to the left side, leaving an empty backfield.
Forward rushing.
And Judy will get the first down. A solid pass and a good pickup by Judy.
Close, but this is where Judy can, you know, if you put it in the hands of your playmakers, but you have to put it in a position where they can do something with it. If it's 3rd and 10, for example, and you throw it 3 yards down the field, well, now you're asking for a lot from your receiver. If you can put it near the first down marker, now you're giving them a chance to make something happen with it.
Absolutely. And here's the other thing is, again, just seems to be as a lot goes into play action and great pass. Judy catches it. Solid gain there. But so here again, where's the urgency? You know, we took the entire play clock there down, and where we started to see some success with Drew Lock last week during that comeback was a hurry up offense. And we still are not going into a hurry up offense, even though we're down 21. And that's what seems to help Lock succeed a bit more. And so why we haven't moved into a hurry up offense, I'm not sure, but I think, again, here we'll hand off to Gordon. We'll make a couple cuts and a lot of work for about 2-yard gain. So we'll see. There's now 20 seconds left. I'd like to see us get off at least one more play before the end of this quarter here as we're going down. 2nd and 9. But again, just this offense just taking their time. Just, you know, it's no sense of urgency when I don't understand when you're down by this margin.
Well, and you got to expect you're not going to hold Atlanta to 0 points in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely just not.
So you might as well count yourself down by 17 at the very least. So when you're in that situation, what are you doing about it? And while we're moving the ball a little okay right now, it still is not great. Do we think Locke could be the mindset of getting rid of it quickly to him getting hurt earlier this season? 100%. I think that's at least some part of it. He doesn't want to get it, so he's dropping the passes short. Look, when you don't trust your offensive line, if you're not, you're saying, holy crap, my receivers down the field aren't getting anything going. They're not finding a way to get open. Then why would I stand here and get hit? And it may be not something he's actively thinking, but we're in that moment, and it's kind of instinctual at some point to just freak out. I don't want to say freak out, but
You panic.
you panic.
And,
That's yeah.
And to it, I mean, again, that's kind of what separates the great quarterbacks in the NFL with the ones that don't make it, is what their pocket presence is. Can they hang in that pocket? Are they willing to take some hits here and there to make the plays happen? Or do they get happy feet and panic? And I think that's what we're seeing Drew Lock kind of get in the habit of, and that's pretty concerning to see. It'd be one thing if things just weren't quite connecting, but he was at least hanging in the pocket, had good pocket presence. But again, we're just seeing a lot of situations here where he bails out of the pocket way too soon, or panics and tries to throw a very quick pass that is nowhere near his receiver. Even when they're wide open. And so it's a little concerning to see this with Drew Lock still. I get it. This is his 10th start, I think, in his career. But when you start to see some of these bad habits come out and be exacerbated, it gets to be pretty concerning to see.
You got to give him some credit for being a young quarterback, but that wears off pretty quickly, especially, you're getting to the second half of this year. And if you're seeing just as many, it's more mental issues to me. Can he overcome those things? Because he's going to get hit. He's going to be hurt sometimes, and that sucks to say it, but what is he going to do to overcome that? And to some point, it's like, well, if you don't have the mentality of being able to overcome those things, then, how long are we going to keep giving you chances? And so, look, I'm not saying we need to get rid of him. I'm not going down that route. Give him another year, 2 years, because that's what he needs to develop, right? But he's got to figure this stuff out sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. And here we are, start of the fourth quarter, 2nd and 9 at the Falcons' 34-yard line. And we'll hand it off to Lindsay, who will pick up another solid 4, maybe 5 yards. Again, create another 3rd and short situation. So that's what you start to like to see, is these 3rd and shorts versus 3rd and longs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, again, just taking our time. No sense of urgency right now. I mean, we should be doing, I'm not even sure why we're huddling right now. We should be going to a no-huddle offense here.
Right.
Keeping things moving, trying to get the Falcons defense on their heels instead. Just taking our time.
Yeah, when you're moving the ball down the field as efficiently as this, why are you not doing exactly that? So Drew Lock's going to step back to throw, and he does to Hamler, who will be just short. He's going to be about half a yard short. So I think that's a pretty easy pickup for, 95% of the time, a pretty easy pickup. But Christopher, I'm sorry, man. No, that's not happening. Rippon is not a better quarterback than Drew Lock. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. Not happening. Glad you're watching, though. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here. So let's see. They actually did give us the 1st and 10.
New set of downs, Lock in a shotgun and try to get some misdirection here. Lock under pressure. Not a great throw.
Jerry Jeudy kind of hitting it in his hands and dropping it more or less. I mean, there was a defender right behind him, so we'll see what the replay shows. But it would have been better to see. It was right at the 1st down marker. So again, that's what we ask of Drew Lock. Fine, you don't have to make some big play out of it. But keep the chains moving, and he did that. And so, what did Jerry Jeudy do? Other than just have another drop, which again, this is his 8th game in his NFL career. I'm not going to be too tough on him. So let's see what he's got going on here. Melvin Gordon off to the right of Drew Lock. Fakes the handoff somewhat. Rolling out again to the right-hand side. Looking to run. Slides for maybe 3 yards, giving us a 3rd and long. With a flag, probably a holding off, I would say, to the left side. Let's see what it says.
Yeah, we'll see.
And Christopher, my only comment there is if was the guy that would win games easily, he'd be in there. But
He beat the Jets.
you beat the Jets.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that easy. He threw a couple interceptions there to let the Jets back in the game too.
Yep.
Looks like they might have picked up the flag.
Yep. Bring
Yeah,
it
looks like they picked up the flag, so it'll be third down. I'm not sure what they would have called. Looks like they might have called hands to the face. But they picked it up. So
good call by the refs.
Although
in
we
fact,
did get
hands to the face to Garrett Bowles on the other side. But just saying.
So it's 3rd and 5. Big third down play coming up here. Goes to lock. Protection's decent. Wide open Jerry Jeudy, who will be in for the touchdown.
Boom. Okay, that's what we needed. This was exactly what you need to do. And what you saw from Drew Lock right there is he was patient. He stood there. He didn't freak out. He didn't roll out. He waited for that play to develop, and he found Jerry Jeudy open in the backfield there, beating out number 24. And you look at this guy's speed and the ability to break ankles. I mean, he got 4 yards of separation right there just off of the way he stopped his run. So, I mean, look, that play right there, that drive, 10 plays, 70 yards. The only thing there is, yeah, your defense needs to go stop them, but you can't afford 5 minutes per drive.
Absolutely. And again, you're also relying on quick drives from for your defense to stand up to the Falcons here. So that's great. It takes us down 14-point deficit, but not a lot of time on the clock. And again, needing some more stands against the Falcons here, and some injury news here. Albert O has been officially downgraded to out already. So again, that's not a good sign when it's that quick of a determination. We'll be providing updates throughout this week as far as what we find out exactly is the situation. But from how it looked, how he reacted, and already been downgraded out, right now it's not a good look. And I don't want to speculate, so I'm not going to say anything yet till I get some more information. But you just hope to see it's not a season-ending injury. So we'll have to wait and see for some more information to come out, likely after this game. So we'll provide that information throughout the week for you. But it's another tough loss for this Broncos team.
It's one thing after the other, and you can have that next man up mentality, but I think any team, after a while, it becomes incredibly frustrating because, yeah, you can next man up, but when you got third string people starting, at what point is it, holy crap, we've done everything we can and it's just not working for us. So not saying that they're giving up by any means, but the level of frustration has got to be increasing there across the board.
For sure. And I keep going back to the 49ers a couple seasons ago. It was their second season with their coach at the time. They were supposed to be better that season. People weren't quite sure how better, and they were abused with the injury bug as well. And they ended up winning 4 games that year. So, you see it happen, and unfortunately, these lost seasons kind of happen with injuries. That's just the way sports are. It's not too often happens to your team in particular, but they do happen where it just seems like no matter what you do, you just can't stay healthy. And it does have a real effect, especially at the NFL level where, like you said, you're having third stringers against first stringers. It's difficult to win a lot of games that way. And I think that's what we're kind of run into a bit here. So we'll see again. Got to rely on the defense here to make a stand. There's about 13 minutes left in the game, down 14. So not impossible, but it starts with the defense continuing to make those stands. They've had a couple good stands so far. They had the interception. They had a 3 and out, but they got to keep holding them there. Got to keep forcing the Falcons to punt, hold them off the scoreboard, and our offense has to keep driving them down the field and find their way into the end zone.
Yeah, easily. So with 13:15 left in the fourth, we're down by 2 touchdowns at this point, which is doable. But again, it comes down to the defense there. Being able to make a stop. Man, why is our offense just not being fast about it? When you have the defense on their heels, why are you not getting going? And I get to some degree you don't want to make mistakes, but at the same time, you don't have, this isn't the second quarter. This is, you are running out of time to make something happen, especially if, no, you don't want Atlanta to score any more points, but you got to anticipate that they will.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of wasted time on that last drive, so we'll see. But already, so the half numbers are looking better for the offense. We had about as much yardage that quarter than the first half, but right away, Falcons will pick up a first down with the toss to Jalen Hurst. Quick first down for them, and again, got to find a way to hold them here.
I mean, if you're letting them just move the chains, and at this point, they don't want to get more than 10 yards of play. You want to take 5 minutes off the clock for the Broncos. Obviously, if it ends with some points, then you're just putting the nail in the coffin to some degree. But yeah, you're going to do a lot of run plays. Okay, you got 2 yards there. Great. That's exactly what they want. Anything they can do to kill another 40 seconds off the clock. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
where we're saying, why are the Broncos not no urgency across the board?
Yeah, we've got to find, again, it becomes time management issue here, and really got to hope the defense finds a way to stop them here quickly, and then our offense has to get down the field quickly themselves. Yeah, like you said, the Falcons going to start milking the clock here using their run game, probably some short passes just to keep the clock moving. Second down to 7 here. And looks like a toss right down the middle to a wide open Hurst again. And so first down, and again, that's...
I think that was Simmons and Jackson that both got to him, but he got right past Josie Jewell, which is fine. That's what he was supposed to. That's Josie Jewell was doing his job, but man, he got wide open. It looks like Jackson there just was not able to stay with him. So here we go. Falcons have it on the Broncos 39-yard line. Matt Ryan, 22 for 29, 279 yards with those 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Again, killing another 40 seconds off the clock. Trying to get to him in the backfield there, making him scramble a little bit and bringing him down back by the 48-yard line. Big sack right when we needed one. Probably making it about second and, 17, 18.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Kind of drives them a bit further away from field goal range too. Good defensive play. Some good coverage that time. Not much for Ryan to really throw at. So yeah, here we got a 2nd and 16. Big second down here. Let's see if we can keep them in a 3rd and long situation.
Matt Ryan in the backfield. Handing the ball off to Todd Gurley, who gets all of 1 yard, bringing up that 3rd and 15. You can't ask for a better situation. This right here, they're just barely outside of field goal range, I'd say. So you got to be careful, because if you give up 5 yards, why not go for a field goal if you're the Falcons?
Yeah, we'll see. I do think they're a little bit further because of that sack from field range. I think they'll need pretty close to 15 to have a decent 50-yardish field goal attempt here.
Not sure they are in the 45. Let's see what Matt Ryan does. A big throw on 3rd and 15. He threw. Looking for a flag, no flag.
Shouldn't be, though. Got hit right as he threw, which definitely helps kind of throw off the accuracy of that pass. And that's a huge stop. We've got now a little less than 10 minutes, and the Falcons will be forced to punt here as we're able to get some pressure on Ryan. Again, hit right as he threw.
And even then, our defender was right with that wide receiver. So that was a good defensive stunt right there. I mean, for those 3 downs. And so here you go. What are you going to do when it comes to hopefully not getting pinned within your 10? It looks like at about the 15-yard line. So some decent position, but yeah. Look, if you're Drew Lock, you have 3 or 4 plays called like right off the bat. There's no time to sit in the huddle for 15 seconds and talk about it. Then walk up to the line of scrimmage, which takes another 10 seconds, right? Your defense is, once again, your defense is doing their job. You're doing what they're asked of, and if you're the offense, why are you not trying your damnness to hurry up, let's go. You want to keep your defense off the field, let them rest, but at the same time, you need to put points up on the board, get them some motivation. Okay, here we go, we're back in the game. Let's help the offense seal this one off.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're down 2 touchdowns here with less than 10 minutes to go. You can't take a 9-minute drive here. That doesn't do you any good. So, need a quick up-tempo game. No huddle. I would like to see quick play calling, get the ball off, and keep moving the chains. In an ideal world, we'd have a touchdown drive in about 3 minutes here. Anything longer than that, you're starting to really play with that clock and hoping that the Falcons start making mistakes. So we'll see. It'll be a big drive here. See if we can kind of stay alive with a quick touchdown here. But yeah, time is of the essence now, and they need to pick up the tempo a bit.
I would say get a first down, take it out to the 25, and then tell your offensive line one play. Just hold them off for one play. Let Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler get down the field and get open, and allow Drew Lock give him that extra second in the pocket to get a deep play off, because again, that's what you're going to need to get this offense motivated, really get the defense on their heels, put more pressure on the Falcons offense. I think if I was, I'm not Fangio and I'm not Pat Shermer, but I think what they need at this point is a huge play. Really get some motivation behind them.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, everything's related to the time remaining now, and need some big plays. Need them quick too.
It's true. Broncos did beat the Falcons in Super Bowl 33 there. The Falcons also lost terribly to the Patriots a couple of years ago. Down, 28-3? They were ahead. So just a reminder, no matter what happens this game, the Falcons still do suck. And any Falcons fans named
terrible play. Drew Lock just threw an interception. Again, he panicked. They did get pressure on him, but again, that's what I'm talking about, is that panic that he has, and that sets up. And I don't even know what he was looking for right there, but he was under duress and just threw the ball right down the middle of the field, right into the chest of a Falcons defender with no Bronco player even nearby. That I don't know. Again, just panicked, threw it away right to the Falcons player, and that sets up the Falcons that are already in field goal range. They can kill a lot of clock and easily get points on the board here. Just a terrible play. That isn't
way overthrown.
That is 100% on Drew Lock there. That was.
If you've never seen a panicked quarterback play, that was it. 100%. And now Kareem Jackson will push the wide receiver out at about the 6, 7, 8 yard line. Bring it up second and short there.
Well, that was exactly the last thing you wanted. And again, it goes back to, the defense did their job. Defense did what they were able to do. They held them off the scoreboard, and first play of the drive, an interception, and sets them up in prime range.
Look, AJ, you're right. It's not over till it's over, but you got to admit that the Broncos have not put themselves in any good kind of situation with this touchdown here. No, there's not zeros on the clock, but when you're down by more than 3 touchdowns at this point,
this will be it's 21-point deficit again with 9 minutes left. That's extremely challenging to over. I mean, you're not just hoping for touchdowns; you're hoping for mistakes on the Falcons. You're hoping for onside kicks to go your way.
Pick six.
At this point, you are trying to hope for a lot of things to go your way and then some. So a situation that Drew Lock just put the team in, and now we'll see. Here's what I'm worried about: is him trying to make up for that mistake by trying too hard to force a play. He's going to forcing up too long of a pass and throw another interception or whatever. It is what it is. You can't go back and fix that interception. Now you just got to do your best job to do what you can that next pass play. But if you keep trying to dig yourself out of the hole by trying too hard, you're going to make matters worse for yourself.
Yeah, Daniel, we're getting this question a lot, and I understand the point behind the question, but no. Is Fangio the one throwing that interception? No. Is Fangio the one, um, not holding the defensive players to get to Drew Lock? No, and again, this is a very young team. Pat Shermer's first year. There was no off season. There was no preseason for Drew Lock to get accustomed to these new, just drafted wide receivers, so on and so forth. No, the last thing we need is to replace these coaches and have this young team just start from scratch again. I mean, it's not going to do anyone any good. You have to give these guys some continuity to really grow and expand. Now, after 3-4 years, it's not working. Okay, yeah, maybe we need to make some changes for sure. The biggest one I'm looking at is McMahon for special teams. I think if anybody should be looking at possibly losing a job, it's our special teams coach. Ranked 32nd in the league. I don't think we're going to get any better today. But yeah, no, bottom line, there's no need to get rid of Pat Shermer or any of those guys.
Yeah, I totally agree. A lot of these issues are a lot of execution based, not necessarily coaching based. And like you said, you just be starting all over again, starting the clock over again on these young players. They need some consistency. And I don't think these coaches have done a bad job to the point where they have to where you're calling for their job, right? I mean, again, I keep using the 49ers because I think it's a perfect template for the Broncos. But when they went into their new coaching staff with Kyle Shanahan, as Drew Lock will make a pass for a first down and then plenty more with Hamler running to about the 40-yard line. So a good play there. But, we look at the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan. It took them the first season, they won 6 games with him. The second season, again, they won 4 games under him. Third season is when things started clicking and went to the Super Bowl, right? Where if you only give a coaching staff 2 years to turn around an entire program, right? It's not even like these coaches came into a solid program. They came into a terrible team. You got to give them some time to work things out, to get the players that they want to fit their style of play and their system. And that takes years. And again, Drew Lock will go back to pass here and we'll throw it to nobody.
Absolutely nobody.
But firing the coaches after this season doesn't do anything. It sets the Broncos back again. You got to stick with them at least another year after this, especially to see what the team is like when they're healthy, right? Once you get your starters back, once things start to click, it's definitely nowhere near time to call for Fangio's job. It's just not time for that.
I get that it's frustrating. I do. And like I said, I understand where the question's coming from. But from a football standpoint, when you have a team this young, you just cannot do that. It's going to be more detrimental than anything. So see what Drew Lock does. Looking to pass over to KJ Hamler again for about a gain of 3, maybe 4. Bring up 3rd and 6 or so. 8:10 left in the 4th quarter. Broncos down by 3 touchdowns. Yeah. Yep.
Starting to be at a not a loss for words here. Again,
they're still not hurrying up.
Still huddling, still taking
30 seconds between plays.
3rd and 6. Melvin Gordon out to Drew Lock's left. Hamler in motion. 5 seconds down the play clock. Finally get it off. Lock will take a shot at the end zone. Very well covered, and the ball was about 5 yards overthrown anyways. Just nothing there. Just nothing there. I don't know what you're throwing at. Again, I think that's, trying too hard to make up for that mistake he made. Because that pass from the start, there's nothing there to throw at. I mean, Tim Patrick was covered from the start there, and that pass was out of bounds. I mean, the pass wasn't even... Tim Patrick couldn't even make an attempt to make a play on that.
At this point, is he making any sort of reads? Is he going down any sort of read progression? Is it another fallback to panicking and feeling that pressure, right? So here we go on 4th and 6. Big pass and almost intercepted in the end zone, but it will be turnover on downs with 7:25 left. Falcons up 34-13. Yeah, so, why is there no play action passes to Lindsey? I think the run game we gave up early on It wasn't super successful, but you gave up on it. And now you're in this position where you have to throw. They know that getting 3 or 4 yards on a run is not going to do anything for you.
Absolutely.
And so, and
not.
there's no rush game whatsoever. Play action does nothing. But that ties back to the first quarter, the first half in general. I'm curious how many yards Philip Lindsay did have, because at the beginning of the game, I would have said, yeah, he'll definitely have more than 37 yards. But
which we did talk
at
about.
this
right?
point, I am not too sure. And Jerry Jeudy with 46 and a half yards was the betting line. I think he's close to it, but I'm not too certain.
Philip
they're at,
Lindsay
so.
on 8 attempts has had 23 yards.
Ooh.
Jerry Jeudy with 6 reception has 84 yards.
Okay, so we got that one.
But yeah, our run game has been pretty anemic. Lindsay with 23 yards, Gordon with 18 yards. Hamler technically had one run play with that jet sweep, which was 15 yards, and Locke has picked up 13 yards. So between 5 players and 18 attempts, like 69 yards on the ground game, as the Falcons will continue to just chew up clock. They don't even care if that plays for a loss. I mean, Broncos, even if we force them out here after this third down, Broncos get the ball back with about 5 minutes left. And 3 touchdowns to make up.
Probably closer to 4 minutes after the punt and everything, unless we start using timeouts, which at this point, there's no need for that. What, if anything, for a learning moment, I want to see this offense go into no huddle offense. Give them that experience, right? Because, look, is this game kind of out of reach? Yeah, I would say so. No, it's not zeros on the clock, but, it is what it is. It looks like we did hold the Falcons to 0 3-down conversions this half. We'll see what they do on this one. Now, granted, they only had, this is their third attempt. Okay. So second half, Falcons are 0 for 3 on third downs, and that's dandy.
Which again shows some of the halftime adjustments that they were able to make for the defense, which appears to have definitely helped out. I mean, the only touchdown we've gone up this half was when the Falcons started their drive on our 10-yard line from that Drew Lock interception. So definitely good to see our offense picked it up. And again, part of that's going to be, the Falcons offense just trying to kill clock more than necessarily getting points. Yeah. But at this point, it's not looking good for the Broncos, not just right now, obviously, but moving forward. I mean, a lot of questions to try to figure out. Again, you take away one quarter against the Chargers, and this offense has been nowhere to be found the past several games since the Jets. And again, that's not to say much, again, the Jets in one quarter against the Chargers, we've had a good offense. Outside of that, it's been more or less what we've seen today.
AJ here hits the nail on the head. We are incredibly spoiled as Broncos fans, and I get that when we are not winning, it's incredibly frustrating, and it just makes us all angry, right? And yeah, we were incredibly spoiled by those guys. Obviously, I was not alive in the 60s and 70s. I did hear about it, and I know the scores from those touchdowns or those Super Bowls where we got blown out of the water, with Drew Lock rushing to about the 45-yard line. Nope, he's good. Getting up there. But yeah, I mean, this is what it's like for a team to rebuild, and this is really only our maybe second year of rebuilding. The first 3 years with John Elway's mindset, we're not rebuilding years. This is pretty much the first one. So Drew Lock with a pass to Noah Fant, getting just short of the first down. Nope, he did cross the line there. So anyway, yeah, this sucks. It does, but when you have a team this young with this much talent, and you think about us continuing to draft the way we are, this is a team where you should be excited for 3 to 4 years right now. Yeah, it sucks in this moment. But when you're talking about 2023, 24, 25, this is a team where you can expect these guys to be able to be together and play together every single year incredibly well.
Absolutely. And drawn a pass interference flag there on that play. Yeah, it's an extremely young team with some upside, with a lot of upside talent. And that's part of the rebuild process, right? You don't rebuild a team in a year. You don't rebuild a team in 2 years. Once you decide to go into that rebuild mode, which we did 2 years ago, year and a half ago, really, it takes time. And I think we are on the right track. I think you said between the draft and some free agency moves, we're pass incomplete by Drew Lock there. We're on the right path, but unfortunately, that right path sometimes takes a while to get to your goal. And so, and again, it's tough. Broncos being the division they are, which is going to be a tough division in the next 5 years between
10 years.
I mean, absolutely. So we'll see. Again, there's still going to be questions at quarterback for a while, I think. Right, wrong, or indifferent, there's going to be those questions there. But I think the defense has proven that they're well on the right course. You take away the first half of this game, they've been solid this year. Again, key injuries across the board for this team. There's a lot of upside in this team, and unfortunately, don't see it in the immediate, and especially against this Falcons team. It's been a rough game, but it's going to take some time. Like I said, I expect us to make that jump next year, to be honest, especially once we have a healthy team. I think we're going to make moves next year. I think, I'm not going to say we're a Super Bowl contender next year, but I definitely think we're a winning record team who manages to find their way in the playoffs. But this year, you just kind of have to see what you have in your depth and your players, see where those weaknesses are, and try to fix those holes in your team moving forward. But
so you're saying that we should be rebuilding the team based off what you just said?
Sure.
I'm just trying to make sure people out there understand that this is what rebuilding means.
Yes, rebuild takes time.
Rebuilding does not mean that we fire everybody right now.
No. That sets us back. When you have to rebuild, you have to basically relay the foundation, right? And that's the term. You're rebuilding.
And it hurts. It's painful, but
Absolutely.
It has to happen if you're going to do it right.
And Drew Lock's going to take off here to try to pick up a first down. It'll be just a couple of yards short. Be 3rd and 2 about. But yeah, it's a tough process. But what you want to make sure you do it the right way, because when you get into this spiral of you're constantly trying to fire everyone, you're constantly trying to reset, then you end up like the Jets or the Browns, right? Especially the Browns. I mean, they've been terrible, and they've had 4 new coaches in 4 years, and look where it's gotten them, right? Or even the Raiders. The Raiders for the longest time were trying this reset game, constant reset, and they've been abysmal for a long time. And so you want to find the right way to do it, and so you only have 2, 3, maybe 4 painful years versus 10, 11, 12 painful years, right? With still nowhere to go. So Drew Lock will make a pass, and it will be caught in the end zone by Tim Patrick for a touchdown, bringing the score back down to 14 points.
Do you go for an onside kick?
At this point, you might as well. Doesn't matter if you lose by 30 points or 14. You got 4 minutes left. You do have 3 timeouts left, so if you want to try to hope your defense can get a quick 3 and out, that's an option too. So we'll see what they do here. But either way, been a long day for the Broncos here in Atlanta. Now down, assuming Mandis makes this extra point attempt here, so that'll make it a 14-point game with 3:53 remaining.
There's a lot of question marks, and I get that about this team. And that I think if you're a rebuilding team, there should be questions. Those are some things that you should be looking to answer, but it takes time to answer those. And is the question, is Drew Lock the right quarterback? Well, you can't answer that right now. You just can't. I mean, until you know what this guy can do with a full off season after rebuilding or just building relationships with his receivers, and you get Cortland Sutton back out there, I mean, there's no way you can answer that. You can answer it based off today's game? No, but that's a moment in time. You got to see what this guy can do over the long haul.
Yeah.
And again, you can talk about firing coaches and everything, but again, if you just start with a new quarterback every year, it's not going to do anything for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, those questions are going to be there, and it's fine. But especially when you're in a rebuild, it's one thing if your team is solid on every aspect except your quarterback, then it becomes more pressing to fix that quarterback situation immediately. But when your whole team's going through a rebuild and you're sitting at 3-4, about to be 3-5, and your next best option is Ripien, who is not a better quarterback, as the Broncos go for an onside kick that failed, what's the point in trying to fix your quarterback situation immediately, right? I mean, your only options are to go for a trade at that point or spend massive money in an offseason for free agency. Your quarterback should be one of the last pieces to the puzzle, right? You can't make the argument to build a team around it, but that's when you have for sure fire lock of quarterback. You know, your Peyton Manning, your what's going to be your Trevor Lawrence, you know, your Joe Burrow, like your truly amazing quarterbacks that you build a team around. If you don't have that, then there's no need to try to break the bank trying to find one.
Nope. And AJ, yeah, I mean, this is where Broncos country doesn't have a long memory. You know, the Peyton Manning years where it's, you know, 5-6 years ago, Super Bowl 50 was not too long removed from where we're at. And, you know, those years where we had Peyton Manning at the helm were just phenomenal. But, you know, I think Broncos fans in general have to realize that there will never be another Peyton Manning. If you're trying to compare this team to the defense of 2015 and trying to compare Drew Lock to Peyton Manning, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. You know, it's like people who love Star Wars, the original trilogy, and then go into the theaters to see the new ones and then come out saying, well, that sucked, and I'm so mad that it sucked because it wasn't as good as the original trilogy. Well, of course not. It's two very completely different things. If you go in there expecting it to be as good, you're going to be asking for heartbreak and disappointment. So, look, it comes down to you got to let this guy grow. You got to let him improve and develop.
Absolutely. And again, that development's the key part, right? To develop, you have to have consistency in coaching staff and play calling, all of that. And again, this is, for all intents and purposes, his rookie season. You know, he had 4 starts last year. For all intents and purposes, this is his rookie season. And rookies will make rookie mistakes, and like you said, you can't make a decision on a quarterback based on one performance, or even a couple performances. You really need a whole course of multiple games, full season, if not more, to make that decision if that quarterback. I mean, look at the Jets. I mean, they're still seeing if Sam Darnold's the guy, right? And he's been around for at least a couple of years there as their main guy. And
I mean, that's the Jets, though, so they suck in general.
Well, that's the point I'm making, though, is they're trying to see if this is their guy or not, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to make too many jokes about the Jets because honestly, we're not far behind them right now. I mean, our offense is just about as bad as they are right now.
He was past the line of scrimmage.
His back foot was behind. Won't be a flag. But, you know, again, I'm not going to sit here and make too many Jets jokes because we can't. What foot do we have? Right now, who knows? You know, that's part of the process.
I feel better if I have somebody I can make fun of.
We can keep trying. Tell you what, look in the mirror, there'll be a guy that you can make fun of pretty easily.
There it is.
Yeah, point being, it is we're a ways away, and that's okay because as long as we're on the right track, and I think we are.
Yeah. One day at a time, one game at a time, one season at a time, and it's gonna be interesting how this team develops and where they go from here. So, looks like
they're going to try to block. They're going to punt. Looks like the Broncos are selling out for a block.
That's the flag.
They did take a delayed game, which makes sense. I mean, try to get a little bit more space for their punter to pin us in. But yeah, looks like the Broncos are going to sell out for a block here. See if we can get one. That would be a big play if we were able to do that.
Oof. I mean, if Shelby Harris was out there, maybe.
And close, but not
close.
quite. And
it must have gone out because there it is.
Just lost it. It'll be out about the
15-yard
15-yard line. So 3:22 left to play. Broncos down 14. 1 timeout left. Garbage time football here. At this point, to open up your playbook, see what happens. I mean, got nothing to lose at this point.
This is the perfect opportunity to get your guys experience.
Absolutely.
Go in that hurry up offense so they can experience that. Call those plays that normally you wouldn't play. You have nothing to lose right now. Do different things right now to get them that experience in a game time setting. And so there's no reason to do things normal right now because why?
Yep. 2-yard reception by Hamler there. Dulac did get hit as he was thrown. A little slow to get up, but seems to be okay. Blind side hit there. Again, just poor protection. I think that might have been Bowles that let his guy by.
Yeah.
pass protection has been absent this game, and Drew Lock is definitely taking the brunt of many hits. We'll go back. Quick pass. Ooh. And Hamler with another catch, and he got hit hard, but pops right back up. And there is a flag. We'll see what the flag is for here.
But even then, we saw Drew Lock get up, and I know he got hit pretty hard, but no urgency. This is where I just don't understand, and maybe one of the other Orange Weekly people listening can tell me if I'm wrong, but I just don't see why you wouldn't. You don't get many game time situations that you can get actual experience in, and this is just a perfect one. Like, what are you going to lose by doing a hurry up offense when you have a team this young? Why not get them that practice and see what they can do with it? Drew Lock looking to throw again off to the left-hand side. Open to Jerry Jeudy. Ooh.
Wow.
Okay, so this, that's kind of what I'm talking about. But
again, you need to get going. No sense of urgency. Jerry Jeudy with a great route run, and just shoestring tackle. Otherwise, he probably was gone. That gets us to the Falcons' 14-yard line.
Probably an end zone shot right here.
Looks like
quick dump off pass.
And Tim Patrick
get out of bounds, though.
He has to get out of bounds there. I mean, that's the difference between another play before the 2-minute warning there. Instead, we're not going to try. He's got to get out of bounds there.
But that's a learning moment. He's going to go back and see that tape and understand that play and say, yeah, I get that I was the guy called on, but okay, this is how close I was to getting out of bounds. What do I need to look at in the future when I'm in that situation again? But I want to go back to that Jerry Jeudy catch. I mean, he absolutely beat out the defender. Like you said, shoelace tackle there. That's how close it was. That's incredible to see a rookie like that have that much speed.
Jeudy has a ton of upside, and I know people have been trying to critique him, but here's the thing is he's essentially our number one receiver right now with Cortland Sutton out, right? You can make the argument for Tim Patrick, sure, but people have been game planning around Jerry Jeudy. They've been doubling him up. They've been planning specifically around him. And even with that, he's still had some good performances here and some great plays like that. I think he's had a solid game here. That puts him, I think, over 100 yards reception for this game here. And here's the thing is most great receivers find their way in the NFL their second year, their second season, right? Their rookie year, they have those rookie mistakes. They're still trying to adjust the speed of the game, the different coverages. But he showed a lot of promise this year. I still think the big question is, can he reduce the number of drops he has? But I mean, he's showing that his route running in the NFL is phenomenal, and he could have a phenomenal career here. And he's having a great rookie year. And I would expect him to, again, most receivers make that jump their second year in the league, and I would expect to see that from him next year for sure.
Well, when you have Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy out there, if you're the defense, who do you cover?
Absolutely.
You can only cover one of them maybe, and then you add KJ Hamler to that mix. You add Tim Patrick to that mix. You add Noah Fant and Albert Okwuegbunam to that mix. I mean, this is where you're talking about weapons that, get Drew Lock a little more protection there on the offensive line. You're going to have somebody open. There's not a question about it. You just got to be able to understand the read progressions to the point where you have enough time to find that open person, because you can't shut down Jerry Jeudy. If you shut down Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton is going to be open.
Right.
This is going to be a problem for our defenses in the coming years.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, we've been retooling our offense. We've been giving Drew Lock some weapons to use, and it's just a matter of getting them all healthy and getting them all to come together. And hopefully not many more performances like this from our offensive line, because they've been a huge struggle this game.
No, Cushenberry is a freshman center, which is a tough position there. But let's see, Drew Lock aiming for the end zone, rolling out to the right, going to run for it.
And, takes the hit to make it happen. And a little bit of shoving, but nothing too major there.
Not hurt.
10-yard run touchdown by Drew Lock. I like to see that the drive there and that that bite and that willingness to get that touchdown. At the same time, you've been injury prone as it is. You're taking a very big hit there.
Yep.
Not sure it's necessary, but I appreciate the competitiveness there.
The effort, right?
And McManus with the extra point is good. So here we go. Minute 52.
One timeout.
We're down
7
by 7. One touchdown with one timeout. Another attempt on the onside kick. But here's the thing. You're making this comeback. You're attempting to make this comeback. And onside kicks are very difficult in the NFL these days since they made that rule change on kickoffs. But this shows what this team can be. If they started out this way, the way they played this entire second half, this could be an entirely different game right now. So, this next hurdle that this team has to figure out is how do you start games? Because clearly, you go back the last at least 3 games, this game, the Chargers and the Chiefs, the entire first half, they're nowhere to be found. And that has to. You're not going to win many games in the NFL if you show up only through the second halves. So they have to figure out a way, whether it's a culture thing, whether it's a warm-up thing, whatever it is, mental thing, whatever, they have to figure out how to start games way better than they are and come out with that second half mentality they've had in the first half.
Right. Looks like McManus will try the onside kick again, which is
it's touched. Oh, man, that was actually pretty close. That was a close. It hit the Falcons player and bounced out of his hands and just fortunately bounced right back into the hands of the Falcons player.
You can't ask much more for an onside kick.
Yeah, that was
actually recovering it. That's pretty much as good as it gets.
That was just hit him in the hands and just bounced right to the other Falcons player. Man, that was.
What you can do. They're already pretty close to field goal range.
Yeah, you need a 3 and out. You got 1 timeout. Best case scenario, you're talking getting the ball back with less than a minute left here. 1 first down will seal this game here. And
punch the ball out. Nope, they're down after about 4-yard gain. Let the clock tick down. Are you going to use it right now?
Yeah, Broncos going to use their timeout now. 1:46. So, best case scenario, it's not looking good. You're talking getting the ball back with 10 seconds left. Best case scenario here. So
let's see. Talk about rebuilding. Oh, he got ahead of himself. Maybe. But again, like Jason said, quarterback's one of the last things you really worry about. You get all the weapons first, and then.
And these are young weapons. It's not like we got them through free agency and they're in a prime of their career right now, 30 years old or whatever. These are very young receivers. They're going to be able
Sutton's 4th year,
right? Third
or fourth.
Either way, I think he's our veteran of the group, and this is his 3rd or 4th season, and so this is a very young offensive core here that we're looking at, and so I get what you're saying. I think who was that said that? Marco. But I would be more concerned if he got these weapons through free agency and spending a lot of money for players that are already in the prime versus players that are very early into their career and are only going to grow from here.
Yep. Yeah, no, I don't see this being an issue down the road. Look, maybe you're going to have to make some decisions on who to keep, but when you keep growing your team organically like this, then you set yourself up in a position where if you lose one guy, you have a good enough 2nd and 3rd string player that they can just step up and fill that gap, right? So maybe it won't be these players, but that's where you keep that inflow of talent coming up. It got a flag. It would be 4th down, but Broncos are pointing towards the Falcons like it's their. It does stop the clock.
It will stop the clock too if it is on the Falcons here. We'll see what the flag is. Came out pretty early on the play.
It's on the Broncos.
No, it's on the Falcons.
Okay.
It's an illegal formation on the Falcons, but the Broncos will decline it to make it 4th down. I do believe that still stops the clock, though.
Yep.
And so Broncos will get the ball back with about 45 seconds left. No timeouts left, but ideal at that situation, you make a couple quick plays getting out of bounds or spiking the ball to set up a Hail Mary pass.
Yeah.
Which I would say for Drew Lock's arm, you're looking to get around the 35, 40-yard line for him to sling the ball down the field, and it will be a touchback. That was pretty close, but so 45 seconds left, 25-yard line. You're looking for a couple quick plays here to get out of bounds, stop the clock, to set up for a Hail Mary is what your best bet is at this point with 0 timeouts.
Yep. I mean, at least it's somewhat of a ball game. You know,
it's not a blowout.
It's not a complete blowout. Yeah.
But again, it's a tale of two halves, right? I mean, our offense has absolutely, our defense has absolutely shut down the Falcons' offense this half, and our offense has actually put together some touchdown drives this half.
Yeah.
But again, we're right the first 30 minutes of the game. This is the NFL. You can't keep taking out half a game and expecting to win these games, especially against your teams like the Chiefs or even teams like the Falcons, where the record's not great, but they are a very solid, capable team.
Yep. Let's see. Philip Lindsay trying to look into block. It is caught
and Judy dropped it.
Jerry Judy.
And I get that.
Right in his hands, just unable to reel it in there.
And that would have been close to a 20-yard pickup. And right to the hands. That was a great pass by Locks. Just caught him in stride, right to the hands. And again, Jerry Judy's biggest question mark coming to play again. You got to catch that.
And I'll share my thought here in a second, but here we go. 2nd and 10 from the 25. 38 seconds on the clock. Looking to throw again, waiting for it, moving out of pressure, dump off pass, and Philip Lindsay unable to reel it in. I get the quarterback's stats of, completions versus attempts, but I think that only tells half the story. I think a lot of people forget that they need to look and see how are the receivers doing. Because, you could be 10 for 20 and say, holy crap, that quarterback sucks, but how many of those passes got in the receiver's hands and got dropped? And so this is where I'm just saying, when people are looking at Drew Lock saying, oh, we need to get rid of him, well, you look at some of these passes and they're not all his fault.
Absolutely. In fact, Lindsay just dropped that ball there on that play. So down in 30 seconds, 3rd and 10. Falcons bring pressure. Drew Lock, that one might be a fumble. That one, I think.
Either way, once again, the offensive line completely unable to give Drew Lock any sort of time in the pocket.
We'll see what they call here. Falcons are not celebrating, so they might have, they ruled it incomplete. So 4th and 10 here, but again, just complete pocket breakdown. 2 guys right on Drew Lock. Both Bulls.
That's close. I should be a full-time announcer, right?
There we go. Looks like Matt Ryan is ready to go again. I'm surprised they're not reviewing it from the booth.
At this point, what is it? I mean, they
don't want to get this play out. Oh, and that's going to be a flag anyways, but they're going to decline it. That was just, and again, that shows the epitome of no urgency. The play, they had to stop the ball when they did because the play clock was down at 0, so Drew Lock had to get the ball off. And what results is a penalty because you still have guys moving, not set, and they weren't ready for the ball to get off. And so you get an illegal shift penalty. They're going to decline. It's going to be a turnover on downs. And again, it's because you let the play clock get all the way down to 0. It's beyond me why it takes so long to get this ball off. And if there's a single play that describes this game for the Broncos, it was that one right there.
I hate to say it, but yep. But yeah, this will be a kneel to end the game, and so Broncos will fall, unfortunately, 3-5, while the Atlanta Falcons go up 3-6 on the season. Closer game than what I thought it would be after the first half, but I guess Jason, just some, we're going to do the post-game podcast here that should be released on Tuesday, so check that out, everybody. iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud. So we won't spend too much time on it, but I guess just overall big picture thoughts on this game.
Again, tough loss. But it's a game you could have won. And I say that because if you play the entire game like you played the second half, this is an entirely different game. Those excuses on defense of not having Callahan or Bouye, well, we held the Falcons to very few yards in the second half there, and they made attempts. It wasn't like they were just doing nothing but run plays. But, interception, couple 3-and-outs, holding them off the scoreboard minus the very short field they had starting at the 10-yard line. Broncos have to find a way to make that, it's a very young team, and they're making very young mistakes. But they have to start making these adjustments, these mental adjustments of realizing that, hey, this is the NFL. If you want to win in the NFL, you got to play 60 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't come to the game and start playing like you want to in the second half, because at that point you're already down 21 points. And it's not going to be often you come back from 21 points. You have to start the games ready to go, giving full energy, full effort, full execution. You can't wait 30 minutes to get into a game and expect it to end well for you.
Right. Hey, Daniel, let me pose this way to you. Let's say you're a CEO of a company, and your manager and assistant manager and top person come in. You hire them all, and after 2.5 months, you decide, oh, they all suck. I'm gonna fire them all. What does that do for you? In reality, you start over from scratch again versus trying to spend some time developing them. And that's where you need here. And I get that it's Fangio's second year and everything, so my analogy isn't completely spot on. But you can't say you lost faith in them when you haven't really seen what they can do with a full season, a fully healthy team, a full offseason and preseason. I'm sorry. And again, how much of this is Fangio's fault? He can only do so much. He can't go out there and throw the pass for Drew Lock and catch the ball for Jerry Jeudy. To say that you've lost faith in them, I would just say reconsider, give it another year or two. And after 2 years, if we're still at the same point, okay, now we can start having that conversation. But, I don't know. Elway, that's a whole other different discussion about how the organization is run from the top down. But yeah, let's see. AJ says we have a noon curse. On to the next. We got the Raiders next week for sure. And so, Jason, I think you said a lot of things, just spot on there of, play a full game. If you play a full game, you have a solid chance to win these games. But if you play for the fourth quarter, maybe part of the third, you just don't. So anything else, Jay?
Tough loss, but hey, on to the next one.
On the next one, Raiders next Sunday, I believe, and we may not be calling the game, but of course we got our Monday night, Tuesday night live shows. We got our pregame, postgame podcast. We got Ragers that comes out on Saturdays on those podcast platforms. Pregame show, halftime hash. We got you guys covered. So also make sure you check out BroncosOrangeWeekly.com. And once again, thanks to Centennial State Insurance Agency, 303-838-0554. Give them a call for any insurance needs, or if you're shopping around or just have a couple questions. With that being said, Jason, fun stuff, except for the game itself. But no, good times. And I appreciate everyone joining us. So I'm out of drink, but nothing else to say, but
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. We'll see y'all later.
Yeah, I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, if it's right. And I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro.